everyone, good evening. Welcome to 9th and 10th channel of BYJU'S. I'm your teacher Ankita and I welcome you all in today's life process class. I hope that all of you are excited for the class and I hope that all of you are ready. Good evening everyone, welcome to the class. I hope that all of you can see me and can hear me. Good evening everyone. Hello everyone, good evening. Really sorry for the delay. I had one more class which was happening on the same channel for class 9 and it just got extended a little bit. Thank you so much everyone for your patience and thank you so much for waiting till now. Yes everyone, I hope that all of you are excited for the class. Please make sure you stay with us till the end. It will be a lengthy class for all those students, right, who will be asking, ma'am, ma'am, what is the duration of the class? This at least for 2.5 hours, 2 hours, the duration of the class will be there. We're talking about the chapter which is life process, everyone. Right? Such a big chapter, such an important chapter for class 10th biology. So everyone, please brace yourself. Please be ready. Please sit with your water bottle, textbook, notebook, pen, pencil, some snacks also, so that all of you can study life process today with me on your channel BYJU'S 9th and 10th. Good evening everyone. Good evening to each one of you who are here with us. It's a very interesting chapter, I would say, right? And so there's lots of things कि मैम हमने अभी तक पढ़ाई नहीं की है. So everyone, this is your one stop. Right? This is your one stop session that you have to make sure that you're watching for the chapter life process. Yes? Good evening. I can see the number of students are going really very high. Please make sure you hit the like button for the video. And let's get started. Right? We have stops in between where we'll be discussing your doubts. So please make sure you ask your doubts on that particular time. बीच में पूछोगे तो मैं नहीं आंसर कर पाऊंगी because I'll not be looking at the chat. Okay? Notes are not there in the description for today. You will be getting your notes tomorrow. So don't worry. Tomorrow you will get your notes. Okay? Don't worry about it. You will have your notes tomorrow. They are very huge and they are not getting downloaded. So don't worry. कल मिल जाएंगे पक्के से. Okay? चलिए. So everyone, I hope that all of you are there. Few rules. Keep on having your water in between. Ask doubts during the doubt board. Okay? And let's just focus. पढ़ाई करेंगे और कोई बातें मत करना चैट में. You'll be getting the notes. There's a link in the description box, but you'll not be getting the notes today. You'll be getting the notes tomorrow. कल आपको notes मिल जाएंगे और टेलीग्राम पे भी notes मिल जाएंगे. But आज कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, कल notes मिलेंगे. Okay? चलिए. Let's get started everyone with a very important chapter, life process. अच्छा, आप में से कितने लोग हैं जो how many of you have some doubts or you feel that कि मैम अभी तक हमने पढ़ाई स्टार्ट ही नहीं करी लाइफ प्रोसेस की. जल्दी से बताओ. जल्दी. How many of you have doubts in life process and you're like काश हम इसे पहले पढ़ लेते. Only transportation. I can see few things here. Me. अब सब बोलेंगे मैं हूँ मैम. I am also there in that category. मुझे बताओ क्या कर रहे थे अब तक? Right from the April, May, June, July, August. See, we have individual sessions also. So just in case if you want to understand individually at your own pace, you can watch those sessions also. In today's class, we'll be having everything all together. It's a whole chapter that we will be finishing off today. चलिए, पढ़ाई कर रहे थे, बिल्कुल, हाँ. पढ़ाई कर रहे थे, I know. Me and Ashwarya ma'am jokes about it कि even if you are going to the examination, you will be asking, ma'am, एक बार बता दो, ma'am, what is life process? Ma'am, एक बार double circulation. Right? Yes, बिल्कुल. All of you, now that you have decided that you will be serious, let's make this session an amazing session. Right? चलिए, let's start everyone. Okay? So everyone, and this particular chapter, this particular whole session, right, is very important and we'll be studying it if you are studying for a very first time. So it could be possible that you are watching this video now, like I'm just saying for those students who are not there with us, but probably will watch this video later in the years or maybe in the months. So please make sure you stay with us till the end and this particular chapter will be covering each and everything what you have in the NCERT. ठीक है? तो आगे बढ़ते हैं. Yes. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं and let's get started. So we are starting with the very first important thing that we ask ourselves. Now, what is that? Right? We are living on a beautiful planet, right? And we have so many organisms. See, Tripti ma'am did this. Right? Tripti ma'am did this. It looks, we have 3D. We have 3D, structures over here. Yeah. So now, what are these, everyone? What are these all? Right? What are the things that you can see on the screen right now? We can see a shark. We can see a shark. We can see a rhinoceros. Also, we can see fish. We can see a human. We have bird, dog. We have bee also. We have plants also, right? What are these? Kidney touching. Wah, wah. Right? What are all these? These are living organisms. So let's understand, everyone, what are living organisms. So in this particular chapter, the first paragraph talks about the living organism. Now, what are living organisms? How do we define living organism? Let's take a look over here. When we talk about the living organism, we can say that the ones who have growth, movement, respiration, or 2 times the respiration, nutrition, reproduction, or let's understand what is the living organism. So living organisms are those organisms who shows the growth, right? Yes, who shows the growth. So of course we have the growth happening in plants. See over here. We can clearly see that growth is a very, very important parameter of the living organisms. Growth can be defined as an irreversible permanent increase in the size, right? For example, see, it's my height as of now. Do you think that I can go back to the height when I was 5 years old? No, right? It's not possible. So growth can be defined as an irreversible permanent increase in the size of the organism, plants, or even an individual cell due to the synthesis that are happening, processes that are happening intracellular and extracellular. So the growth become a very important aspect of the living organism. Then we have nutrition. We all love eating food, right? Nutrition provides us a very important components that are really essential for the various chemical reactions that are happening in our body to give us the energy. So nutrition plays a very important role as the becoming a factor or a parameter for the living organism. So a biochemical or physiological process by which an organism uses the food to support its life. We eat food, right, everyone? We eat food and we get energy. So this is important. Then we have reproduction. Now in the living organism, what we will see, they'll be able to reproduce, or we can say that they'll be able to they can make a copy of themselves. So it is also a very important characteristic features of the living organism. So if the reproduction is not there, we will see that what will happen, our species probably will not be able to move ahead. It will completely get extinct. So this is a very important parameter of the living organism. Last but not the least, the metabolism. We eat food, but from that food, how we can generate the energy, how the things are coming out of it, is all possible because of the chemical reaction that are happening. So metabolism becomes very important parameter or factor for the living organism, everyone. Are we clear? Right? And most importantly, have a surprise over here. Yes, what we have over here is the consciousness. We are aware about what is happening around us, right? We have this ability to sense our surrounding, to react to that surrounding, right? And because of all of this, we are living. So everyone, we have 5 important parameters of what we call it as a living, right? What we have? We have growth, we have nutrition, we have metabolism, we have consciousness, and what we have reproduction. All of you, what all we have growth. If someone asks you what is living to you, you will write if an organism has a growth, or if they can reproduce, or if they show metabolism, that means chemical reactions, or if they take food and utilize it further, or they have the consciousness. Basically, they can react to their surrounding. All of these will actually help us to understand about the living organism, or we can call that it is a living organism. So here everyone, we have the definition of the living. What is living? Anything which shows the fundamental characteristic of life, growth, reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization and the consciousness, we will call it as the living. Now everyone, are we clear what is living? If someone will ask you, you can easily write. You know what? This question was there in the sample paper or the previous year where we have this question. Right? It's a very, very tricky question. It's in the very first page of the chapter, right? We sometimes don't even look at that particular paragraph, but it is very important for us to understand. Consciousness over here means the ability for us to react to the surrounding. For example, I can see your chat and I can call out your name, or I can read your doubts. I'm reacting to what I see right over here. There's a light over here. I can respond to that also. Okay? So that is the living. Are we clear what is living? Yes? Are we clear what is living? So here everyone, you can take a screenshot of this particular part. So it's really very easy for you to recall. We have reproduction, metabolism, nutrition, breathing we have written over here, consciousness, breathing. Over here, you're just trying to make sure with it. Right everyone? We can write growth also over here. Clear? Let me just write the growth. Okay, are we clear with? If someone will ask you, write the characteristic features of the living organism, you have the answer. If someone will ask you what is living, you have the answer for it. Consciousness, many people are asking, what is consciousness? Consciousness, awareness about a surrounding. I am conscious what is happening around me. I can see the light, I can hear the sound of the AC, I can read these comments. Clear? Clear everyone? That is the characteristic features of the living organism. Metabolism means the reactions that are happening inside the body. Okay? So we are clear with the living organisms and the characteristics of it. Now let's proceed and let's understand about the term life process. Can anyone in the class tell me what is a life process? Think about it. Take few seconds break and just tell me what is life processes. Those of you who are watching this video later, pause the video now and think about it. How you will define the life process. Right? How you will define the life process. We have two important words into it. We have life and we have the process. I can see some of the answers: essential for living, required for our existence, process that occurs that makes a living. Interesting answers. Process for essential for sustaining life. Absolutely correct, right? So life processes are those processes that are happening that actually help to maintain the functions of the living organism. Even when they are not doing anything particular, right? They are really very essential. Right? They're very, very important. This is a definition that we have in our textbook, or the statement that we have in our textbook. So life processes are those processes that actually keep us living, or they are important for the maintaining of the living things. Like everyone, can you quickly tell me like the important four, we have nutrition. Nutrition is super important because if we are not eating food, what will happen? We'll not be able to generate energy. Energy, we get it from the process of respiration. So if there is no food, there is no generation of the energy. If there is no generation of the energy, what will travel throughout? So we eat food, we generate energy, and that energy travel through different parts of the body by the transportation. And once it is going cell to cell, doing all the transporting the energy, right? It actually carries back the waste also which are generated, because all the living organisms, when they are living, they will be producing the waste. So then we have the very important last step, which is excretion. So we can say that these four, nutrition, respiration, transportation and the excretion, are the very important life processes. Now why we don't have reproduction over here as a life process? Again, pause the video, think about it, and those of you who are in live class, tell me why reproduction is not here. Think about it everyone. See, we'll be going line by line, we'll be going really very detailed with the NCERT. We are following the topic, so please ask your doubts when we have that particular topic, and I'll be stopping in between for the doubts. So just focus on the topic that we are studying right now. Yes, reproduction is not an essential thing for the survival, right? It is not important for the living per se. Just in case, if the next generation has not been produced, the organism will not die. Clear? So, that is the reason reproduction is not amongst these. Clear? Everyone, are we clear? All of these processes are important for the survival of the individual. If I have to survive, these processes has to happen in the body. I have to eat the food, I have to take the oxygen, then of course energy is made, then transportation will happen and the excretion will happen at the end. Are we clear, everyone? All of you, are we clear with this? Quick thumbs up and everyone stay focused. See, I'll not be able to time out the spammer today. Yes? Everyone, I'll not be able to do that. But if you are here to study, please make sure you stay with us. Okay? Chaliye. Now that we are clear that what are living organism, what are the characteristics of the living organism, and what are life processes, now we will start with the first life process now, and let's take a look at the nutrition. Right? We'll be taking a look at the nutrition all together. What is nutrition? We have been talking about the nutrition since our class 6, right? Nutrition is nothing but the mode of taking in the food by an organism and utilizing it by the body. We take the food, right? And of course, how our body utilize it is the nutrition. What we take the nutrient. Now, what are the nutrient? The energy-rich food, right? Those are the nutrient that goes inside our body that provides a nourishment or the required amount that we need. So we are clear with what is nutrition, right? Nutrition is a mode of taking in the food and by the organism, and of course how it is get utilized. Sorry. Yes, everyone. Now that we are clear with the nutrition, let's understand about the different types of nutrition. See, from now everyone, I'll be going a little bit slow, right? If you want to pace it up, you can increase the speed. And those of you live, you have just to listen, you have to listen to me. Yes. Very good. Yes, everyone. So I hope that you are there with me. Okay. Now let's talk about the nutrition. There are two types of nutrition. First, we have autotropic nutrition, and second, we have the heterotropic nutrition. Autotropic nutrition has a word auto into means of course it's self-nutrition. Hetero means others nutrition. So autotropic organisms, right, or the organisms which have the autotropic mode of nutrition are the one that can make their own food, like plants. So plants, we call them as the autotropic organisms, right, because they can make their own food. Whereas the heterotropic organisms are the one that will not be able to make their own food. They depend upon other organisms for their food. Let's talk into detail about the autotropic nutrition. Autotrophs take their food in a very simple inorganic substance from the outside environment and of course convert them into the food. The example we have is the green plants and blue-green algae. A very special bacteria over here. So what they are doing, they are taking the very simple or inorganic substance from the environment which are there, they take it and they convert it into the food. Then of course we have heterotrophs, heterotrophic mode of nutrition, where we have the other organisms like us, which are dependent on the other organisms for their food. They are dependent on the other organisms, and that is a reason we call them as heterotrophs. All the animals will fall under this particular categories. In this also we have different categories altogether. Now, the animals, right, which eats plant are called as herbivores. Everyone, are we clear? Right? Yes? I'm sure you all remember this. Herbivores are the animal which eat only plants. Only eat plants. Carnivores eat meat. Right? Eat meat of other animal like lion, tiger are carnivores. Then we have the omnivores. Eat both the plants as well as the meat. Clear? So eat both. So I'm sure you remember this. Yes? So what we have? We have heterotropic mode of nutrition में we have three different types of organisms. We have herbivores which eats only the plants, carnivores which only eats the meat of the other animals, and the omnivores which eat both plants and the meat. Carnivores eat only the meats. This is something which we have studied in the lower grades, right? So what we have discussed till now about the autotrophs and the heterotrophs. Heterotrophs when we are discussing about the different types of organism based upon what they eat. Plants are called as the producers, right? They are called as the producers because they are the one who are actually making the food by themselves and they are eaten by the other organisms. Furthermore, when we talk about the heterotropic mode of nutrition, we have a broad division, everyone. Yes, we have broad division. We have Holozoic mode of nutrition, saprophytic mode of nutrition, and parasitic mode of nutrition. Holozoic mode of nutrition is a mode of nutrition where we intake the food. What are we doing, everyone? What are we doing? We are intaking the food. All of you, please make sure you stay with me. I will be answering your doubt after this topic. So please make sure you focus now. Right? In the Holozoic mode of nutrition, what I have the organisms that eat the food, right? They eat first. Digestion is happening inside the body. Digestion is happening inside the body. Everyone, are we clear? Right? We have the example of the amoeba. So amoeba takes in the food, right? Then forms a food vacuole. Inside that we have a digestive enzyme that works onto it. Then absorption of the food is happening. Then the food goes to the different places where it can be utilized. And then the ejection of the waste. That is the Holozoic mode of nutrition. We can see the Holozoic mode of nutrition in Paramecium also. Right, where we have the food groups. Yes? In us, in humans also we saw the Holozoic mode of nutrition. We also eat, right? We take the food inside our body and then the process of digestion starts. Clear, everyone, up to here? So, all of these exhibits the Holozoic mode of nutrition. Then we have the saprophytic mode of nutrition. Now this we see is in fungi. What happens over there? These microorganisms, right, are incapable of making their own food and hence they survive on by eating or by feeding on dead and decay matter. So I'm sure in the environment you would have seen if there's animal who is dead or if there's a leaves, these fungi will grow on them and will release their enzymes out, release their juices out and then they will eat them. So we have the example of mushroom. Clear over here, all the fungi that are there which are the saprophytic, which have the saprophytic mode of nutrition. Then the last but not the least, we have parasitic mode of nutrition where these organisms will take the food from the host. So what happens in the parasitism? One organism is entirely dependent on the other, which we call it as a host, and will take the important nutrient from them. Okay, and this is definitely not a good thing for the host. We have the examples like ticks, cuscuta plant and lice. And I'm sure all of you would have seen lices in your head probably or in someone else's head. When we were very small kids, right, we will get those lices in our head, right, and it'll keep on itching. What they're doing actually, they are taking the nutrient, basically they're sucking up the blood. So, the host is someone who is providing the food. For example, if there's a mosquito sitting or let's suppose if there's a lice in my head, I am the host and that's a parasite that I have. Clear? Clear, everyone? So, we can clearly see that we have two types of nutrition, right? We have autotropic mode of nutrition or heterotropic nutrition. Everyone, are we clear? What we have just discussed, right, is a type of nutrition. What is nutrition? Nutrition is nothing but when we take the food and of course the utilization process of it is the nutrition. In nutrition we discussed about the autotropic nutrition where of course plants falls in because they can make their own food. In heterotropic nutrition we discussed about the organisms that are dependent on other for their food, right? like herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. They depend upon other organisms for their food. In that also we have different mode in which how they take food. First mode was Holozoic mode, in which we take the food inside the body and then digest it. Humans are the example for it. Then we have the saprophytic mode of nutrition. Fungi is the example of it, where they will feed on dead and decay matter. And lastly we have the parasitic, where of course the parasites will take the nutrient from the host. The example for this is the lice. Remember this, everyone. Everyone, are we clear up to here? Nahi, Kedar? Yes. Humans are also omnivorous. Absolutely, humans are also omnivorous. Clear, everyone? Quick thumbs up, jaldi se. See, yahan tak to problem honi nahi chahiye, I'm sure. This is the easiest topic, right? So we are clear up to here. Very good. I can see that people are asking me, what is the duration of the class? The duration of the class will be 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Okay? Maximum we can go up to 4 hours also, but we will not. Today will not. There will be a day before your examination. We'll have long marathons also. Okay? Chaliye. Now everyone, let's talk in detail about the autotropic nutrition. I want all of you to focus now. Everyone, all of you focus now. I will tell you the difference between assimilation and absorption also in a minute. Chaliye. हाँ, photosynthesis अभी आएगा. We will cover each and every topic. Okay, I can see that few of you have doubts on what is saprophytic mode of nutrition. Saprophytes means that they will be eating the food which is dead or decay. They will not be attacking. Basically, if in a very simple way, if we have to talk about it, they consume their food, right? They actually grow on, or they actually feed on the dead and decay matter, right? Dead and decay matter pe you will be seeing the growth of fungi, right? They will be releasing their enzymes out, and from there only they'll be able to take the nutrition. Okay, chaliye. Okay. So everyone, now we are moving into the photosynthesis. Quick thumbs up. Those of you who have doubts in circulation, excretion, bache, either you can wait now or you can come back later. Okay, we'll be moving up to that particular topic a little bit later. Fungi is the example of the saprophytes. Clear? Parasites ke example, we have ticks, which we see in the dogs. Lice, which we see sometime on our heads also. And cuscuta plant, the yellow thread plant. Chaliye. Then, question comes to the photosynthesis. Now, it's a very, very important topic. I'm sure all of you are aware about it, right? We all know that plants make their own food. Yes, right? We all know that plants make their own food. And plants are really, really very important, right? Plants plays a very important role in making, of course, they provide the food to the living organisms. They actually help in the water cycle, and of course, they play a very important role. We know that they are very, very crucial, giving us the oxygen also. So, we know that plants are important, and we know that plants can make their own food by the process of, everyone quickly, jaldi say, what the process is called as. Everyone quickly tell me how plants make their food. Plants make their food by a very important process called as photosynthesis. We have been learning about this process. This is very, very important from your board exam point of view also. So everyone, please make sure you pay attention. Every year we have a question from here. Mostly you will see. Okay. What is photosynthesis? In a very small and easy word, photosynthesis is the process by which plants make their own food by using carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, water from the soil, in the presence of sunlight, and in chlorophyll. We will see that they'll produce glucose, gives out the oxygen as a product. That is nothing but the process of photosynthesis for us. What they need, right? What they need for is, they need the carbon dioxide, right? They need the carbon dioxide, they need water, they need sunlight, and they need chlorophyll. Some of the other factors which are important in terms of the photosynthesis, right, is the sunlight, CO2, the humidity, and the water that is there, right? These are the important requirements. These are the important requirements of the photosynthesis. Now let's take a look at the steps, everyone. Before we go into the steps, in your NCERT, there are 3 steps given. Can anyone tell me what are those 3 steps? And I'll make Kaju Katli for all of you if you can tell me the page number also. On what page number we have this? Yes, board questions hai Aisha. We are discussing all the board questions also along with the topic. Yes, Rupinder, we will discuss that also. We will have the exemplar sessions also. Very good, very good. Page number 96 or page number, okay. So on page number 96, everyone, we have the 3 steps of photosynthesis, a direct question that can come in your examination, right? And we have seen in the past, we got this question also. Next to the diagram, we have, next to this particular steps, right, we have a diagram. Okay, I'm not sure according to the new rationalized syllabus, what is the page number, but yeah, over here, in your textbook, you have a diagram also. That diagram came last year. So we understand that this topic is very, very crucial from the exam point of view. So now we'll be taking a look at the 3 steps, everyone. What is the first step? The first step is the absorption of the light energy by chlorophyll. So we know that inside the chloroplast, we have the chlorophyll. So first step is the absorption of the light energy. Sunlight energy will come and will be taken by the chlorophyll. Second step, what we will see the conversion of light energy to the chemical energy. Now the light energy is getting into the change into the chemical energy. We'll see the splitting of the water molecules into the hydrogen and oxygen. So that is the second step. From the light energy, the changing is happening to the chemical energy. Third step, which is very important step, is a reduction of carbon dioxide to the carbohydrate. Where the carbohydrates were there, right, taken by the plants, the carbon dioxide will be broken into the carbohydrates, or we can say that we will see the formation of glucose. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, all of you, are we clear? Clear are all of you, right? Now let's visualize it, right, everyone? Please hold your breaths all together. We have amazing visualization. Chaliye, I'll explain the second point. Don't worry. Here what we have, everyone, we have the absorption of the light energy. We can clearly see, right, there's a chloroplast, right? You can see the chloroplast. And what are these? These are the thylakoids. The one single disc-like structure is the thylakoids. Now inside this we have the chlorophyll, right? And here only we will see the absorption of the light. So here, everyone, the first step is there. Then the second step is the conversion of light energy to the chemical energy. And we will see the splitting of the water molecule also. I think many of you have point in the, have doubt in the second point. The second point is that the light energy is there, right? But do you think that light energy can be used? Tell me, do you think that the light energy can be used? Right? We cannot all be the jadus, right? What we are doing over here, there has to be some of the chemical reaction. Because in the living organism, we have just now discussed that reactions are super important, right? So what we will see that the light energy that we have will be getting changed or will be getting converted to the chemical energy, because living organism works on the chemical reactions. So we will see the change happening. Along with that, we will see the water molecule. Water is coming from the roots, right? So the water molecule which are there will be getting split here into the hydrogen and into the oxygen. So 2H2O, the water is there, right? The water molecule will be getting broken down, or splitting is happening. What we call it as? We call it as a photolysis. Photolysis is nothing but the, lysis means breaking. Photolysis. Okay, so in this step, 2 things are happening. Change from the light energy to the chemical energy and splitting of the water molecule. From the water, H2O, we will be able to get oxygen and the hydrogen. Remember this, everyone. Super, super important. A question was asked in the examination that during the photosynthesis, the oxygen comes from where? Where the oxygen is coming from? The oxygen is coming from the photolysis of the water. Inside, this is happening inside the grana, right? And Photons, of course, you'll be learning more about it. I'm sure you are aware about the atoms, right? Their electrons, neutrons, protons, right? Photons, of course, you'll be learning more ahead of it. We have the electrons over there that will be moving and we will get the energy from there. So this is important, everyone. Clear? All of you, are we clear up to here? Jaldi say, give me a quick thumbs up. Yes, absolutely correct. Good, everyone, good. Grana. Okay. In class 9th, we have discussed it. I'm just revising it for all of us, everyone. So I'm sure you remember the structure of the chloroplast. Yes? Chloroplast ka structure we all remember, right? What we have the thylakoids. The one single disc-like structure is called as thylakoid. The grana is the stack of it. Can you see this? This whole stack is called as grana. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, all of you, are we clear? This whole stack is called as the grana. Okay? Okay. Now let's move ahead, everyone. That's a second step that we have. Third step, what we have? We have the reduction of carbon dioxide to the carbohydrate. So what we will see, now the reactions will happening more further and the carbon dioxide will be converted to the glucose, right? We all know glucose. So what we'll have? Everyone take a look over here.
The ATP is then used to capture or fix carbon dioxide molecules to make glucose.
Everyone, I hope that you can clear, everyone. Are we? Did you see this?
The ATP is then used to capture or fix carbon dioxide molecules
Yes.
to make glucose.
Everyone, are we clear? Yes.
The glucose.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So what we saw, everyone, over here was that, I'll just play the video again for all of us.
The ATP is then used to capture or fix carbon dioxide molecules to make glucose.
So what will happen after this is nothing, right? The reactions will happen and we will see the formation of the glucose and the release of the oxygen. Yes? Everyone, are we clear? All of you. So in a very simple word, we can say that we have the carbon dioxide, we have the water, we have the sunlight, and in the chlorophyll, we will see the formation of glucose, oxygen, right? ठीक है, समझ आ गया ना? Awesome! Awesome, everyone. So, now remember this chemical equation, everyone, which is super important. We have 6 CO2. It's a balanced equation which is extremely important to us in the examination. So please make sure you remember the balanced equation. We have 6 CO2, 12 H2O. In the presence of sunlight and in chlorophyll, there's a formation of glucose, which is C6H12O6, 6H2O and 6O2, the oxygen. Clear, everyone? Yes, already learnt. Awesome, awesome. I will explain it again at the end. Just give me 1 minute. Okay? Chaliye. Now that we are clear, everyone, let's take a look what will happen to the glucose. So we have the accumulation of the glucose, right? We have the glucose with us now. What the plant will do with the glucose? The glucose will be stored in a form of starch, right? How many of you remember about the experiment? I'm sure you remember about the experiment, right? The de-starching experiment. That is the reason because starch is stored after the formation of glucose in the plants. So, from the glucose, the starch is stored and of course furthermore in sucrose, and it is used in various metabolic activities in the plants. So everyone, what we have just understood is the photosynthesis. Revising for all our students over here who have any doubts. So focus over here, everyone. First, what is happening, right? There is the absorption of the light energy, right? Light energy by the chlorophyll. Now, where is chlorophyll is present? Is present inside the chloroplast, and chloroplast have a disc-like structure called as thylakoid. Inside these structures, we have the chlorophyll. Okay. The second step, everyone, is the conversion of light energy to the chemical energy. You agree? Yes. Right, everyone? Light energy into the chemical energy. So this energy will be getting into the chemical energy. We will see the change happening. And then, of course, we have photolysis. What is photolysis? Splitting of the water molecules, and it will be forming the oxygen and, of course, the hydrogen. Clear? Clear, everyone? Splitting of water. Yes? Okay. Third step में what we have the reduction of carbon dioxide to the carbohydrate. Now, I know that many of you have doubts, right? Ma'am, the C4 cycle, Krebs cycle, other enzymes that you're asking. Everyone, you will be learning all of these in your higher classes. See, I can teach you all of this, but I'm sure it will not be coming in your examination. So as of now, in this class, we'll not be discussing in detail about all of this. If you want to learn more about them, in our individual videos, we have discussed it out. Okay, everyone? Very good. The weightage of this chapter is very huge, bache, right? Amongst all the chapter, you'll have maximum questions from this particular chapter. Yes, NCERT is very good. Srijana, it's good. Yes, it's enough. Everyone, quick thumbs up. Are we clear? Yes. Jia, bache, actually you'll be learning more further that where this H ion goes, right? There are a lot of reactions that are happening, right? It goes there and plays a very important role. Clear? Thumbs up, everyone. Thumbs up. Jaldi say quick thumbs up. See, with this, we have covered each and everything which are there in the NCERT. Okay? Just for those who are asking a little bit extra, I'm just telling light reaction and dark reaction. Light reaction are light dependent. They'll only occur in light. Dark reactions does not need the light. They are independent of light. So the reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate, dark reaction, okay? What will have in light reactions? That they only occur in the light time. That's one thing that you have to remember. Okay. Now let's move ahead, everyone. Now we have discussed about the plants. Can you quickly tell me what happens in the desert plant? What happens in the desert plant, everyone? What happens in the desert plant? I'm sure you would have seen the cactus. Hungry, acha, you need kaju katli. Here we have. What happens in the desert plant, everyone? Yes, the stomata is closed during the daytime. Absolutely correct. They want to conserve their water, right? So in the desert plants, what happens is that their stomata are open in the night. They take up the carbon dioxide, right? And they take up the carbon dioxide in the night, and they actually collect it. And the daytime, when the light is there, of course, they have the whole process. The stomata are closed during the daytime to avoid the loss of water, because they want to utilize the water. So they will perform the photosynthesis in the daytime only, but they will open their stomata, take up the carbon dioxide, right? And of course, will be performing the photosynthesis later. Okay? Chaliye. Yes, they do have the water. But bache, they are conserving it, right? See, stomata say they are not getting the water. Water comes from the roots, right? The water comes from the roots. Stomata actually help in regulation of the temperature. Where, of course, we see the transcription happening through the stomatas, right? But of course, in the conditions of the desert plants, they're trying to conserve the water altogether. After this, everyone, let's talk about the factors. Now, what are the factors that are affecting the photosynthesis? Now, this is a little bit extra for us, but it's very important for us to understand. What are the factors that are affecting the photosynthesis? Is the light, temperature, carbon dioxide, and the water. Based upon the amount of light the plant is receiving, the rate of photosynthesis will vary. Based upon the temperature that they are in, based upon the carbon dioxide that is there in the atmosphere and the water level. Apart from that, internal factor, how many chlorophyll content they have and the structure of the leaf. I am sure that you would have seen different types of leaves altogether. How many of you have seen different types of leaves, right? We have different types of leaves in the different types of leaves. Some leaves are really very broad, some leaves are very chotu sa, right? That actually plays a very important role in the controlling the rate of photosynthesis. Yes. Everyone, are we clear up to here? There's a little bit extra, but now I'll stop and I'll take up your doubts. Yes, Nitika, what is your doubt? How the desert plant absorb? Just like they have the chlorophyll, right? They're green in color. Transportation is same as circulation? Not exactly. Right? Circulation is circulating things that are being there. Transportation, giving things out there. But when we talk about the, in biology, right, we say that they are kind of similar. Okay. Everyone, do you have any doubts? Mesophyll cells are the cells that are present in the leaves, right? They have the chloroplast. Yes, take the... Yes. Okay. Here everyone, are we clear up to here? Quick thumbs up everyone, quick thumbs up. Okay, so I hope that this is clear to each one of you, right? So till now we have discussed about the photosynthesis. We have discussed about the three different important steps which are important for photosynthesis, right? Good. Yes, chaliye. Those of you who have doubt, I would request you, bache, we are going really very slow. Right? I'm sure that those of you who are here with me will agree that I'm going a little bit slow over here so that all of you can understand. I will need to increase my pace now. But everyone, I'll not be able to repeat each and everything 5-6 times. We have to understand that, right? So, if you have any doubts in the previous topic, you can always go back and watch it because I've explained really very slowly and in detail. Moving ahead, everyone, let's talk about the heterotrophs. Now, we'll be discussing about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now, till now we have discussed about the plants, how they make the food. Now we'll be going into the detail and we'll be discussing about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, where we will be discussing about us, right? The human digestive system. Now in our system, right, we have the mouth, right? We have esophagus, we have liver, stomach we have pancreas, we have large intestine, small intestine and anus. This is also called as, right, from the mouth to the anus, we call it as the alimentary canal, right? What we call it as? We call it as the alimentary canal. So these are the important parts of our human digestive system. And of course, in humans, what we actually see is the Holozoic mode of nutrition. Now, what happens in the Holozoic mode of nutrition? We take in the food by the process of ingestion. So everyone, what happens first? We take in the food. We take in the food, that is ingestion. Then of course we see the breakdown of the food happening, that is digestion. Then we have the absorption, where the food, right, which is digested is absorbed by the body and will be taken to the different parts of the body where it can be utilized, and that step is the assimilation. Now, what is the meaning of assimilation? In assimilation step, the food which is absorbed will be utilized further in various reactions. That is the assimilation. And the last point is the egestion. The removal of the unwanted or the undigested food is the egestion. So total how many steps we have in the human digestive system? In the digestion. What are the 5 important steps we have? We have ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and the egestion. Clear everyone? So these are the important 5 steps. Now we will be taking a look at these 5 steps in detail. Let's get started. First step, before we get into the ingestion, There's a very common question which is asked, which is the enzyme. So before we talk about the enzyme that we'll be seeing now, let me answer this question, that what are enzymes? Enzymes are nothing but the proteins, right? They're basically the proteins that are produced by the living organisms only. They actually plays a very important role in the metabolic and the chemical reaction that are happening in the body. They are the one that actually help in speeding up the reaction and act as a catalyst. Now, what is the meaning of catalyst? For example, if two friends are fighting, right, there will be a third friend to resolve their dispute, right? So, act as a catalyst. It will be coming up over here. It can actually help in initiation, right? Help in the stopping of the reaction, help in increasing the rate of the reaction. So, what are enzymes? Enzymes are the supporters, or we can say the additional adapters molecules that are there, right? And they plays a very important role. So they are the extra molecules, right, that are there, that plays a very important role in increasing the rate of the reaction, act as an initiator, sometimes stopper of the reactions also. They plays a very important role in our digestion whole process. So we'll be discussing about the enzymes now. First, the first step that we have, right, in the human digestive whole system, right, when we will talk about the digestion, is a system. Now, the first system that we have, right, the first system that we have is from where we take the food. So, from where we take the food from the mouth. Now, when we talk about the mouth, we have tongue also there, we have teeth also there. So, all of this combined is called as the buccal cavity. What we call it as, everyone? We call it as the buccal cavity. All of you, I hope that you are there with me. See, I cannot read your comments thoroughly as of now. I know that you are there. I can see your comments, but I'll be replying to it later. Okay? So, the mouth, teeth, tongue, right? Right? We have the glands also over here. All of this is combinedly called into the buccal cavity. We have the teeth, we have the tongue, and of course we have the gland. So, teeth helps in what? Yes, teeth actually help in the grinding of the food, chopping of the food, cutting of the food. Tongue help in mixing of the food, right? With the saliva. We know that. Then we have the salivary glands, which actually help in releasing the enzyme, which is salivary amylase, that actually help in the first breakdown of the carbohydrate, everyone. This is super important, right? Salivary glands, which are present at over here, right, release a very important enzyme, which is the salivary amylase, that actually help in breaking down the carbohydrate, the starch, into the simple sugar. Okay? Which enzyme we have? Salivary amylase. 1 marks question comes, everyone, that where the digestion process starts in the human body. And the answer is mouth. Clear, everyone? The answer is mouth. Clear? Clear, everyone? Yes, चलिए. Right, everyone? Clear है सबको? तो first हमारी आ गई salivary amylase. उसके बाद में हमारे आ गए teeth, right? Teeth plays a very important role in breaking down and crushing the food. We have different types of teeth, right? We have canines, we have incisors, premolars and molars. Now, canines are very sharp and they are flat. They help in cutting, chopping. We have incisors. Again, they are very sharp cutting में. Molars and premolars plays a very important role in the grinding. Okay, so these are the important things that we have to remember. We have the dental formula of adult, which tells us about the number of teeth that we have in the upper and the lower jaw altogether. So we have 2, 1, 2, 3. So we have 2 canines, 1 incisors, 2 premolars and 3 molars. Okay, this is how we'll remember of the adult and the children. It's not there in your syllabus. If you want to remember this, please do remember that. Then we have the tongue. Now, tongue plays a very important role in mixing the food, right? And it forms the food wrapped with the saliva, and we call it as the bolus. What is bolus, everyone? Bolus is the semi-solid mass of food, of course, right, which has been crushed by the teeth, right, which is wrapped into the saliva, right, and we call it as the bolus. So, in the buccal cavity, we have 3 important parts, right? 3 important things happening, I would say. Teeth are there, which are cutting, grinding and chopping the food. Tongue is there to assure that there is a well mixing of the food with the saliva. In saliva, we have the very important enzyme which is salivary amylase that actually help in the breakdown of the carbohydrate. So in the mouth only the digestion process starts. Okay. Then moving to the next part, we have the esophagus. Now it is a long tube, right? We know that it's a long tube-like structure which carries the bolus to the stomach. So what we have over here, sorry, 1 minute, sorry for that. Yeah, so the esophagus, right, is a long tube structure which carries the bolus, which is a mixed food with the saliva to the stomach. Now the food molecules, the bolus which is moving inside the esophagus has a very special and a very important movement which is also called as the peristalsis movement. Right? Over here we can see it's a wave kind of motion, it's a contraction happening, and that's how the food will be moving to the stomach. Clear over here? Then through the food that is traveling from the esophagus move to the stomach. Suddenly from a long tube it goes into a big well into the stomach, right? So in the stomach, when we talk about, there are 3 important gastric juices that are there. So whenever we talk about the stomach and the important secretion, we always call it as the gastric juices. So what all the gastric juices we have? We have the HCl, pepsin and the mucus. So HCl, hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is very strong. We know that acid are really very harsh, right? But our stomach have the cells that are producing the hydrochloric acid. Now this actually help in killing the germs if they have entered with the food, and along with that they actually plays a very important role in converting pepsinogen to the pepsin, right? Now this is again a very important enzyme. Pepsinogen is an active enzyme. Everyone please note this down. This is an inactive enzyme. Pepsinogen, right, is an inactive enzyme. As the hydrochloric acid comes, right, it actually converts into the active enzyme, and this pepsin enzyme help in the breakdown of the proteins to peptides. Basically help in the digestion of the protein over here. So what is happening? Pepsinogen is inactive. HCl के presence में it becomes active. Pepsin now breaks the protein into the peptide. The last one, which is super important, is mucus. But before that, remember everyone, chyme word. The partial digestive food with the gastric juices is called as the chyme or the chyme. Apart from that, we have the mucus, right? And the mucus helps in providing the protection from the harmful effects of HCl. HCl is acid, right? If HCl is there, it can actually harm the inner lining of the stomach. But as the mucus is present, a very thin layer, right? It actually protects the inner lining of the stomach. Clear? Yes. So that is about the stomach. Now I'll take a stop over here. And if you have any doubts, everyone, please do ask me. Yes, chyme is not there in your NCRT. Chyme is not there in your NCRT. Yes. Rudransh, these are the cells that actually help in the production. Dev will answer your question. Nephrons mein bache abhi tak we have not reached. We will be discussing later. Okay. Crystal clear. Awesome, everyone. Surendra, enzymes are the chemical juices, right? They actually plays a very important role in initiation of the reaction, increase the rate of the reactions. Okay? What mucus do? Mucus actually help in providing the protection from the harmful effects of acid. You can take the screenshot of this. Okay? Chyme is also called as a partially digestive food. See, we have over here, everyone. You can take a screenshot of all of this. Do take the screenshot of this, everyone. It's super important for all of us to remember this. Right? Take the screenshots wherever you can. Okay, good, everyone. Just in case if you feel the slides are not clear, you can change the setting of your phone. You can increase the setting of your phone and it will be fine. Okay, everyone. So we are clear up to here, right? We are clear up to here where we discuss about the gastric juices that are released in the stomach. Now, from the stomach, everyone, can anyone tell me where the food will move? Yes. Jaldi say. Harshit will answer your question. Everyone, quickly, what will happen? From the stomach, the food will move to which part of the alimentary canal? Yes, the food will move to the small intestine, but before moving to the small intestine, we will see that there are some stops here and there in between. So, important thing everyone over here, there are a lot of sphincters which are present. What are these sphincters? These are the small opening that make sure, right, they're kind of flap-like structure, which make sure that there is the backflow of the food is not happening. From the esophagus to the stomach, we have the lower esophagus sphincter, and over here we have the pyloric sphincter. So from the stomach, right, when the food is kind of half partial digested, we call it as chyme. Now from here, it will be moving to the small intestine. But before everyone it is entering into the small intestine, we have two very important glands that plays a very important role over here. We have liver and then we have pancreas. Before the food enters into the small intestine, can you quickly tell me what is the condition of the food? Whether it is acidic or whether it is basic, right? In the stomach we have HCl, right? What we have in our stomach, what we have everyone, we have HCl. So definitely the food is very acidic in nature. As it moves to the small intestine, it needs to be made alkaline, right? The acidic condition needs to come down so the digestion process can occur. To make sure that food is kind of alkaline, we have a very important role of the liver. Liver plays a very important role in the secretion of bile, right? This bile juice, right? Important bile juice, right? This bile juice is produced in the liver, stored in the gallbladder, right? So in the liver, we'll see the formation or the production of the bile juice that is stored in the gallbladder. And from this bile duct, it will be released into the beginning of the small intestine. So as it comes, what will happen? First of all, it is alkaline, making the food alkaline. Along with it, it plays a very important role in the breaking down of the big molecules of fat, which is also called as the emulsification process. What happens in emulsification? Big fat molecules, right, will be broken down into the small liquid droplets, and we call it as the emulsification. See everyone, you can take a screenshot of this. Jaldi se everyone, take a screenshot of this, right? Take a screenshot. So we have big fat molecules, right? And we can see that we have these chotu bile salts. So they will actually surround the fat molecules and they will make it small droplets. Now these can be easily acted by the enzymes. Now enzymes further can easily break them. So the important role of the bile salt over here is to break down the big fat molecules into the small fat molecules. Okay? Emulsification is a breakdown of the large fat molecules into the small fat droplets that are water soluble. Clear everyone? This is super important. Okay? So this is the emulsification process, which is important. Apart from that, we just talk about the bile juice, right? What happens? It is a yellowish solution that is there, right? And it actually helps in the emulsification of fat, increase the intestinal absorb and makes the food alkaline in nature. Clear everyone? It plays a very important role. Those of you are asking me what bile salt have. So it has 95% of the water, which is dissolved solid. Apart from that, we have some bile salts also in fat. This is not that important from your exam point of view, but this is important. Clear? Yes? Very good. Yes, absolutely. Okay? Then everyone, the food moves happily from there to the little bit ahead to the small intestine initial part, the duodenum. But before that, we have the secretion from the pancreas also. So pancreas releases various enzymes like lipase, trypsin and pancreatic amylase. Everyone, super important. Take a screenshot of this. Quickly take a screenshot of this. What happens? Lipids will be broken down by the lipase into fat and fatty acid and glycerol. Proteins will be acted by trypsin enzyme that will be helping in the breakdown to the amino acid. Carbohydrates will be broken down by the pancreatic amylase to the simple sugar molecules. So if someone asks you what is the role of pancreas in digestion, this is what we will be writing. Pancreas plays a very important role, right? Yes, pancreas plays a very important role in the digestion of the various fats, protein, carbohydrates. Clear? Yes, Sridhar. Yes, and of course, as it's not the only reason, bache. It's not the only reason. Yes. Everyone, are we clear? You can take the screenshot of this. Yes, very good. Okay. Bile juices, Seema, plays a very important role in making the food alkaline, right? And plays a very important role in breaking the fat molecules, big fat molecules into a small one. Yes. Okay, Aquarius, I can see a very interesting question. I think you asked about this also. Who can digest the fat molecules? Bile juice or trypsin? But trypsin plays a very important role in digestion of the protein. Everyone see over here. See, what is the role of trypsin? Take a screenshot of this. Right? Everyone look over here what we have. So, pancreas plays a very important role, right, in digesting proteins. And which enzyme we have? Trypsin. Bile juices. Bile juices they are doing what? They are making the big fat molecules into the small, so that lipase enzyme can work onto it. Clear? Everyone, are we clear? Yes? All of you, are we clear with this? Okay. Very good, very good. Harshit, I've answered your question. Yes. Maltose, a different form of the carbohydrate that we have. Aquarius, they are different. We have the permanent set of tooth, right? That's called that. Heterodon. Composition of the gastric juices. Okay, you're talking about what we have in the gastric juices. Now, of course, we have different types. We have HCl, we have pepsin, it's an enzyme. We have mucus also when we talk about it. We have other secretion also, but we don't have in the NCERT of class 10th. Very good. Thank you, team 7 guy. Digestive enzymes helps in the breakdown of the food, bachche. Different level. We have different enzymes, right? Lipase, trypsin, pancreatic amylase, all are the enzymes. Okay. Chaliye, let's move ahead, everyone, from the pancreas, right? When all of this is, the secretion of the enzymes are happening, let's talk about the small intestine. So, the first part of the small intestine is called as duodenum, right? The other part, which is kind of very twisted, is called as the jejunum, and the last part is the ileum. Okay? Now, what happens in the small intestine? In small intestine, we see the complete digestion of food happening. It's again a very common question asked in the MCQs for 1 marks, that where the complete digestion of the food occurs, or where the complete digestion happens in the alimentary canal. That the answer is the small intestine. In small intestine, we will see the secretion of various other juices, and that actually help in the breakdown of the food, and further complete digestion happens. Apart from that, small intestines have villi. Now, these villi are small finger-like projections, right, which are called as villi, and they actually help in increasing the surface area, right, and they plays a very important role in the absorption also. So, villi is the finger-like projection. They help in increasing the surface area, and they help in increasing the absorption of the digestive foods, nutrient also. Absorption happens by villi only. Along with that, another important function of villi is that they actually help in increasing the surface area. More the number of villi, more absorption will be happening, right? What happens over there? Very tiny, right? So they don't take much of that space. But of course, the more they are in number, more absorption of the nutrient will occur. So they plays a very important role. Again, a 2 marks question, everyone. Take a quick screenshot of this. Very good. Okay. Then let's talk about the large intestine. So large intestine is the last part of the alimentary canal. What happens? Food from the small intestine, the undigested food, moves into the large intestine. Clear everyone? So what happens? We have different parts of it. We have the undigested food, waste, right? We have cecum. We have the appendix over here, which is kind of the vestigious organ, right? And then of course we have the rectum. What happens in the large intestine, it will actually help in the absorption of the water, leading to the solidification of the feces. So what happens? The undigested food which is arising, which is coming from the small intestine, will enter into the large intestine. Whatever water is there will be absorbed by the large intestine. The mucus will be added for the lubrication, and the feces, the stool matter, the undigested food will be stored in the body for some time, and eventually it will be released from the anus. Clear? The removal of the feces will happen by the regulation of the anal sphincter. So everyone, this whole process, right, what we have this whole process where we discussed about the human digestive system. We took 2 breaks in between so that all of you have the clear understanding. Yes? Everyone, are we clear with this? Clear, clear, clear? Yes, very good. Awesome. Everyone, you can take the screenshot of all of this, right? I have just, okay, important things are there. I'm just giving you a chance. I'm moving aside. Take the screenshot, everyone. Everything is there, everyone. Do take the screenshots of it. Yes, everyone, do take the screenshots. Okay, chaliye everyone. The appendix plays a very important role in the herbivorous animal, which is stores bacteria that actually help in the digestion of the cellulose. But as of course in the humans we don't consume that of the plants, right? We don't have much of the functions of it. That's the role of the appendix. Chaliye. Moving ahead, everyone, are we clear with this? I'll just stop here for some doubts. Yep, here everyone. And then of course we'll move to the respiration now. Yes, everyone. Do we have any doubts? Diffusion. Yes. Pathogens are the disease-causing organisms. Ma'am, how the green, yellow, black, different types of stools are? Oh, that depends on the food that we have eaten, right? And of course, amount of the water. Yes, please ask your doubt. You'll be getting the notes tomorrow. Function of the bile salt, it plays a very important role in the emulsification, right? What it does, it breaks down the big fat molecules into the small droplets. On these small droplets, enzymes can easily work. And it makes the acidic food into the alkaline. Yes, everyone, are we clear? Yes. Why the small intestine in the herbivores is longer than the carnivores? Because the herbivores take plants, right? And of course for their digestion it takes much time because they have the cellulose, so it requires more of the digestion process, right? And hence the large intestine is longer in the herbivores as compared to the carnivores. Clear? Are we clear, everyone? Very good. Chaliye. Now everyone, we are done with the nutrition and now we will be moving to the respiration. It will be a long class, everyone, right? Now we have to increase our pace, right? It's almost 8:47 now, 8:50. We have to increase our pace, right? We still need 2 hours to finish off all of this. So our nutrition is done And now let's move to the respiration. Now what is respiration? It's a very, very important life process that we'll be looking into, right? What happens in the respiration is nothing but the formation of the energy. The breakdown of food will occur, and of course we have the energy, right? So the respirations, right, when we talk about it, we can define it as a cellular respiration, a process of breakdown of food in the cell with the release of energy in the cellular is a cellular respiration. So when we take the food, there's a breakdown of it, we'll break it down, and in that process, right, after that, there's a release of the energy, and that is called as the cellular respiration. It occurs, right, it occurs in the living organisms, all the living organisms that we have around, and this is what we have just studied. We have the food, the digestion will occur, right? We have the glucose that provides us the energy. This glucose molecule will be moving into the cell, and various chemical reactions will occur, and it will be producing the energy. So in a simple word, the food is being broken down to release the energy is called as the respiration. It is happening inside the cell. That is the reason we call it as the cellular respiration. Now, when we talk about the respiration, it is of two major types. We have aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration is a respiration where, of course, oxygen is present, right? We know that in the aerobic respiration, we have the oxygen. In anaerobic respiration, there is a lack of oxygen or absence of oxygen. So here, everyone, oxygen is present. Right, it happens in the presence of the oxygen, where this happens in the lack of oxygen or absence of oxygen. I'm sure you all will remember this. Right, we're talking about the respiration, aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. In cellular respiration, everyone, there's a very important flow chart which we have in our textbook that is really very crucial. Let's take a look at it. Right? Yes. Now, in the cellular respiration, we know that we have the food. Food will be broken down, digestion process will take place, everything will be there. There is a formation of the glucose, breakdown of the glucose. Basically, we'll have the glucose as a source of energy at the end. Everyone, are you clear with me up to here? Yes, everyone, are we clear up to here? So we know that food will be digested, and we know that carbohydrates are the one that provides us the energy. The carbohydrate will be broken down to the glucose. Now this glucose is there with us now, everyone, right? Just imagine. Of course, from the body the digestion process is done, and of course it's there in the intestine. From the intestine, of course, we'll have the absorption of it, and it will be moving to the cell. Now this glucose will enter into the cell, everyone, and now we are discussing about the cellular respiration. How this glucose is utilized is what we'll be looking into now, right? So here, everyone, we have this very important flow chart. We have the glucose over here, right, pyruvate over here. So what happens? Let's take a look. So this glucose which is there, right, will enter into the cell. It will enter into the cell, right, where? In the cytoplasm. So we have the glucose where it is entering. Everyone repeat after me, it's super important. The glucose will enter into the cell. This is what? This is the cell. Glucose हमारा आ गया है cell के अंदर. Happy glucose is there, right? Okay. So after the digestion, glucose have entered into the cell. It's like, wow, I'm happy. Right? Now glucose in the cytoplasm. We have the cytoplasm of the cell. Let me just make the mitochondria also. Okay, the mitochondria, right? So what is happening, everyone? In the cytoplasm of the cell, this glucose will undergo some chemical reactions, and this will be formed into the pyruvate. Okay, so this glucose will be broken down to pyruvate. Now this glucose was 6 carbon molecule. In the cytoplasm will have pyruvate, which is 3 carbon molecule. And how many molecules of pyruvate will be there? 2. So everyone, are we clear? 6, right? We have 6 carbon molecule which is there of the glucose, right? It is broken down to the 2 molecules, right, of pyruvate, which has 3 carbon, 3 carbon. Clear, everyone? So I'm just writing over here for short, pyruvate. Okay, now this pyruvate will be entering into the mitochondria. This is very, very important, everyone. All of this is happening if oxygen is present. All of this is happening if the oxygen is present. So now, when the pyruvate is entering into the mitochondria, oxygen will also come here and there, and very important for the energy production. So the pyruvate and the oxygen will enter into the mitochondria, and here there is a production of ATP. There's a release of carbon dioxide and water also. So everyone, ATP is a powerhouse of the cell, right? We all know that ATP is a powerhouse of the cell. So what is happening now? Glucose will be entering into the cell, right? We have glucose, which is a 6-carbon molecule. It is broken down to the pyruvate, which is a 3-carbon molecule. We have 2 molecules of pyruvate, and each of the pyruvate molecule has 3 carbon. This pyruvate will enter into the mitochondria now, along with the oxygen, and we'll see the formation of ATP. Clear? Clear, everyone? Yes, very good. Yes, Rudraksh, I've just answered your question. Okay? This is very important. That's the first part of it. That's the presence of the oxygen in the mitochondria, formation of CO2, H2 and ATP. Then, what will happen in the lack of oxygen? Now, this, of course, we are talking about the muscle cells. How many of you have experienced muscle cramp? I'm sure all of us, right? When if you're running after a very long time and suddenly we have a muscle cramp. If you're running for a long marathon, what will happen? We'll have, initially we will run aram se, but after it we'll have a huge pain, right? What will happen? So we have the glucose, right? In muscle cells, let me write lack of oxygen. Inside the cell, what will happen? Glucose will enter into cytoplasm. Clear? Again, here also, the 6-carbon molecule glucose will break down to pyruvate, which is 3-carbon molecule. But, do you think it will be going to mitochondria? Jaldi say everyone, do you think it will be going to the mitochondria? No. What will happen over here? The pyruvate will be making, the reaction will happen here, and what will have the formation of the lactic acid along with energy, ATP. Okay, so now the things are not moving to the mitochondria because mitochondria need oxygen, right? Long process. We need instant energy. In that particular time, what will happen? The pyruvate will be breaking down in the cytoplasm only, and to release the energy, and there's a formation of lactic acid. When this lactic acid accumulate into the body, we'll have the muscle cramp. Everyone, are we clear? Clear, right? We have the muscle cramp. So this lack of oxygen, what we have the formation of lactic acid and ATP. Last what we have the absence of oxygen, which is the anaerobic respiration. Now this is the easiest one, everyone. What is happening in the anaerobic respiration? There is a formation of the ethanol. There is no oxygen. Fermentation process, I'm sure you would have seen, right? More than that, when the yeast is there, when there's nothing, there's no oxygen, what we will see, we'll see the reaction where there's formation of the ethanol, CO2 and ATP. Everyone, are we clear? Glycolysis is a reaction that happens in the cytoplasm of the cell where the glucose is broken down further. You will be learning more about it in your class 11th. Everyone, are we clear? This is easy peasy. Quick thumbs up. अरे बच्चों, जोश is high. Break चाहिए? Do you want the break? जल्दी बताओ. How many of you want the break? Break चाहिए क्या? Yes? नहीं चाहिए ना? Actually, very good. Good. So I'll give you the break after respiration. Okay? We'll take a 5 minutes break after respiration, but not now. Cool? Badhiya. Nice, very good. Pyruvate, bachche, is a type of molecule. Just like glucose is a molecule, right? Pyruvate is also a molecule. Ma'am, is this lactic acid is different from the milk lactic acid? You tell me. Think about it. Please, Arun, ask your doubt. All clear? Awesome. हाँ बिल्कुल टीम 7 यस ईस्ट में भी साइटोप्लाज्म के अंदर ही सभी रिएक्शंस होते हैं. इट डज नॉट गो टू द माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया. डू दे हैव माइटोकॉन्ड्रिया इज द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आई वुड लव टू आस्क यू. So in the case of lack of oxygen or the absence of the oxygen, reactions will happen in the cytoplasm only. Ma'am, will you teach exchange of gases in the lower organism? Lower organisms in in terms of the terrestrial organism, we'll discuss about it. Pavni, lack means there is small amount of oxygen, but there is no complete absence. Absence means hai hi nahi oxygen. Yes, chaliye. Okay, everyone. So are we clear with this? Right? Lack of oxygen. Here we have the slides with us. You can just take a look, everyone, over here. Lack of oxygen में. Do take a screenshot of it, everyone. We'll see the formation of the glucose, lactic acid, and the ATPs. Here we have an experiment shot, everyone. I hope that you would have seen this, right? See over here in 1, 2, and 3. Take a look over here, everyone. Right, just in case if I miss any doubts, please help your friends. Okay, chaliye. Right, so everyone, let's take a look over here. What we have in the absence of the oxygen, we have glucose, ethanol, CO2, and the formation of ATP. Where the energy is made into the mitochondria, and ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is called as the energy currency of the cell. And we have our mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, right? So this all, we all have the information. Everyone, are we clear? Good, very good. So now we have the understanding of this. We have a lot of things with us. Now let's move to the respiration in humans. Right? Now we are moving to the respiration in humans, everyone. Now, in the respiration, right, what we'll be discussing, till now we have discussed about the chemical process of it, how actually the energy is being made. Now we'll be taking a look at the human respiratory system. In the human respiratory system, everyone, we can easily divide it for a better understanding into 3 different parts, and 3 different parts we'll be able to study it better. First, how we take in the oxygen and release of the carbon dioxide, how the exchange of gases happen, and the production of the energy. So we're starting with the intake of oxygen and exhale of the carbon dioxide. All of you, how do we breathe? We breathe through our nose, right? And we take in the oxygen and release out the carbon dioxide. This whole process is called as the breathing. So when we breathe in, what happens? Air moves in, and when we breathe out, the air moves out of our lungs. So inhale and exhale. Inhale is nothing but the intake of air inside it. We're taking it inside. And exhale, expelling out the air out from our lungs. So let's take a look, everyone, what happens in the human respiratory system, or the important parts of it. So the first part that we're discussing about is the upper respiratory tract, where we have, everyone, where we have what? We have the nostrils, right? Nostrils, what we'll have? These are the passage, right? We have the 2 nostrils which actually help in the they act as a passage for the inhale and the exhale. So they actually help in intake of the, yes, right? We have the nostrils which actually help in the inhale and the exhale. Clear? Yes, everyone, are we clear? Then of course we have the nasal chamber. Now nasal chamber is a chamber which plays a very, very important role. It actually plays a very important role in filtering out the air, provides a moisture and warms the air. So inside our nasal nostrils, right, we have a nasal chamber. It has those small hair-like projections called as the cilia. The cilia actually help in removing the dust particles. I'm sure you sneeze, right? If some dust goes inside our nose, we sneeze, right? The cilia plays a very important role in that. Along with that, what happens? We have the mucus lining, right, which traps the germs and dust particles also, right? So all of this plays a very important role in making sure that nothing, sand, no germs, dust particles, it act as a barrier. Of course, we know that some of these things goes also, but they act as a barrier for us. Then let's move to the other part, which is pharynx. Now pharynx is a common passage. Now pharynx is there in our human digestive system also because it's a common passage between the air and the food. Next to the pharynx, we have the larynx. The voice box is this is a house for our vocal cords, our voice box, right? Then we have the trachea. Now what is a trachea? Trachea is a tube, right, which has the C-shaped cartilaginous ring onto it. These are the C-shaped rings, right, like this, and this actually helps, right, in holding the trachea, or basically make sure the trachea is not collapsing. If these C-shaped cartilaginous rings are not there, trachea will not be able to survive, or it will just collapse and there's no movement of the wind. Can you quickly tell me what is another name? What is another name of the trachea? Did I say something by mistake? Larynx and the pharynx? Pharynx is a common passage. Larynx is a one that holds our voice vocal cords. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, definitely. Harshit, a little bit difference will be there. Very good, Karthik. Very good, Bhumika. Yes, it is called as the food pipe. Absolutely correct. So trachea is also called as the food pipe. After the trachea, what we have this. See, can you see the branching happens? That we call it as a bronchus, where of course the bronchus takes the two different sides, right? And of course we have movement. We have one going inside one lungs and one to the another lungs, right? So here we see that also. And then of course we have the big structure, which is the lungs. Inside lungs, everyone, we have the bronchus, right? And then we have the bronchioles. Now these have the smaller sac-like structure, which we call it as the alveoli. And now we'll be taking a look at the alveoli. This is super interesting and super important. Now these alveoli are, like, if you look at from the distance, right, if they're single together, right, or if you can look over here, if the bunch are there, they look like a bunch of grapes hanging out there together. Right, so these alveoli are the place where we will see the exchange of the gases, right? We'll see the exchange of the gases. Now everyone, this is a very important question that comes in the examination. The gaseous exchange in the human body, right? Especially in terms of the gases that are happening exchange in the lungs. So we have the alveoli. Now let's take a look how the exchange is happening. Now it's purely based on the diffusion. See everyone, our body is really very simple, right? Does not have any fancy processes. It very have small processes working all together. So the alveoli has one single cell membrane, right? It's not very thick. It has just one cell which acts as a membrane, like one single cell are here. So it's very thin membrane. Next to it we have the blood vessels, and blood vessels we have the carbon dioxide which is coming from the body. And when we inhale the oxygen is rushing, right, and reaches to the alveoli. Oxygen is filled into this gap, the sac, the space, right? And we have the carbon dioxide in the blood vessels. In a very simple diffusion way, what will happen? We know that the concentration gradient is different, and based upon that, the molecules will move. So in diffusion, we know that the molecules from the higher concentration will move to the lower concentration. Similarly, in the alveoli, what will happen? In the sac, what we have more amount of the oxygen. So it will get transferred to the blood capillaries. And the carbon dioxide which is there in the blood capillaries will jump into the sac because they have low concentration. So very small thing will happen, right? a small thing of exchange of the gases will happen from the high concentration to the low concentration. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, bye-bye. Do take care of yourself. Yes, cilia. They're different bache. Cilias, definitely, they're very important structure. Shweta, we don't have this in syllabus. We'll discuss about that later. Okay, chaliye. Yes, everyone. So we have the exchange of the gases. That's the second important step. The third very important step is the production of the energy. We have just discussed about the production of the energy, that how the glucose molecules enter into the cell, goes into the cytoplasm, breakdown will happen, and if oxygen is there, moves into the mitochondria. The glucose molecules broken down to pyruvate. Pyruvate will move to the mitochondria, and hence the ATP formation occurs. So we have the production of the energy also. Then, are we clear with this all? Let's talk about the breathing rate now. What is breathing rate? Breathing rate is nothing but the normal respiratory rate that we have of an adult at a rest of 12 to 18 breaths per minute. So this is the number of breaths we have it per minute. So everyone, are we clear? Are we clear up to here, all of you? Everyone, are we clear? Yes, the class will be there for almost, hopefully for 1 more hour. Yeah, we'll be able to finish in 1 hour. See, the major chunk of the class is already over. We discussed about the nutrition, which is a huge chunk. Respiration is done, and now we are left with just circulation and the excretion. That's a very easy topic. Chale, okay, do take care of yourself. Watch the session, everyone, once again, right? Everyone, are we clear up to here? Quick thumbs up, jaldi say. I know, I will be increasing the speed. I am going really slow because we have so many doubts, and I'm just trying to make sure that all of you are there with me. Respiration is a breakdown of the food and formation of the energy, whereas breathing is intake of oxygen and exhale of the carbon dioxide. Chaliye. Everyone, are we clear with this? So we have the nostrils. So let's quickly revise this human respiratory system, everyone. So we breathe in through the nostrils, then it goes to the nasal chamber, or we'll just write it the pharynx. From the pharynx, then it goes to the trachea. In between, if you want to write, you can write larynx also. Then to the trachea, then to the bronchus, then to the bronchiole. I'm just writing over here, bronchiole. Then to the alveoli. And then, of course, the exchange will happen. Okay. Yes. So, everyone, with this, we are done with the human respiratory system. Now, let's quickly talk about the human respiration in the plants. So, we are done with the human respiratory system, right? And we are done with the human respiration also. We will be taking a look at the plant's respiration. So, what we have over here, we have a beautiful plant, right? You can
All
clearly see this
undergo the
plant,
process
right?
of respiration.
And we're taking a look
Upon
inside.
taking
See,
a closer look, we find the surface of the leaf possesses pores called stomata, which acts as an opening.
And
At night,
we all know that
the plant uses
reactions are
oxygen
happening.
and gives out
So
carbon
stomata plays a
dioxide.
very important role.
The gases
So,
diffuse
stomata
into
is
the air
important. See
spaces
over
in
here.
the leaf and enter the cells
Right,
inside.
and we have the cell.
Inside this
We have the
cell, we
mitochondria.
find mitochondria,
And inside the
wherein
mitochondria,
occurs the
we all
process
know
of
that
cellular
there's a,
respiration in
the
all
formation
complex
of the-
organisms.
Right, there's a formation of the energy. Clear? Yes. So, just, you can avoid the video also. There's some issue with, there's a mixing of voice also. So, it's okay. I've just explained to you in a very simple words what we have. We have in plants, if we talk about, right? So what happens in plants? We have the stomata, right? We have the stomata which actually are present on the leaves. They open and they close during the photosynthesis also, right? When they are open, they will take up the carbon dioxide and of course they take the oxygen also, right? And they will actually plays a very important role in the transpiration also. What is transpiration? Transpiration is nothing but the loss of water in a form of water vapor. That is transpiration to us. Now, a common question which is asked in the plants' respiration is, do plants respire like us? Tell me everyone. Do plants respire like us? Everyone quickly answer. Do plants respire like us? We know that plants perform photosynthesis. Right? Plants perform photosynthesis during daytime and nighttime, but there is no photosynthesis. Right? Clear? So photosynthesis occurs only in daytime. And at night we have the respiration. And in daytime also we have the respiration. So respiration in plants is exactly like that we have in our body. So plants also takes up the oxygen and release out the carbon dioxide, just similar to us. Okay? The rate of respiration, right? The rate of respiration, when we talk about it, right, in plants, we say, oh, night mein there is more respiration or day mein there is more respiration. Think about it and write in the comment section below. But the plant respiration is very similar to us, right? We take oxygen, they take up the, they also take up the oxygen and release out the carbon dioxide. Okay. Now, how do these animals respire? We have different animals, right? We have some earth, we have tiny microorganisms, we have earthworms, right? We have different organisms and their respiration is very, very different from each other. Each of these different organisms have a different ways, right? For example, if we have the mosquito, right, we have earthworm, all of these organisms have different organs that actually helps in the respiration altogether. So in the mosquito, we have trachea that plays a very important role. In the earthworm, we have skin. Then of course in the microorganisms, we have the body surface. In fishes, we have the gills, right? So in fishes, we have a question. The rate of breathing in fishes is definitely more as compared to the terrestrial animals, right? What is the reason behind it? Now in fishes, what happens, they are taking up the oxygen from the water, which is oxygen is dissolved in the water. So they have to breathe fast to take up the oxygen because the amount of oxygen which is there in the water is less as compared to the land animals who have oxygen is there around them. So the rate of the aquatic organisms, the rate of breathing of the aquatic organisms is higher, right? Higher than the rate of the breathing of the terrestrial organism. Yes, everyone? Yes, there's a less amount of the oxygen in the water. Yes, the amount of dissolved oxygen is less in water. Very good. Okay. So everyone, are we clear up to here? So with this, we are done with the respiration. So respiration is a very interesting topic and we have finished this particular topic, right? So everyone, now we'll take a break, right? I'll take a 5 minutes break. All of you quickly go. So it's almost 2 hours. We started our class around 7:30. It will be 2 hours in a bit. But let's meet everyone at 9:20. Right? We'll meet at 9:20 again. Okay? Once we're meeting again, we will be discussing about the transportation and excretion. Okay? Yes. Cartilages, they're cartilageous rings. Okay, they're cartilageous ring. Do you think we can, okay, now you have to go back to the 9th class. There's a difference between muscles and the connective tissues, right? So think about it. Okay, everyone. So we'll meet at 9:20, everyone. So go, just quickly have some water. I'll meet you. Hello everyone. I'm audible to each one of you, and can you see me clearly? Okay. Chalo. Yes. Yes, everyone. So I hope that all of you took that break, right? Yes. So everyone just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. Yes, okay everyone, the break is over. Just give me a minute. Let me just do some changes. Here we have, right? Yes. Let's see if it works, everyone. So we have so much to go. I hope that all of you are excited for this. Yes, everyone. See, we have so much. We have so much planned. So I hope that everyone, you are excited. We will finish this off really very soon. We will be able to finish this really very soon. Okay. So everyone, are we ready? So we're done with the respiration, we're done with the nutrition, and now we are moving to the circulation. So everyone, approximately I think in 1 hour we will be able to finish the class, right? How many hours? We need just 1 hour. I want all of you to be there with me for an hour, and we'll be able to finish the transportation and the excretion. Are you there with me? Yes. Everyone, are we clear? Okay. I don't know whether this is, yes. Okay, chaliye. Now everyone, let's get started. Now we're talking about the transportation. Now transportation is a very, very important step of, when we talk about transportation, super, super important, right? And transportation plays a very important role in the transportation of various materials in the body. So let's discuss about it, right? And we have so much more to learn. Let's talk about the circulatory system. Now in transportation, what we have the circulatory system. Now we have the system that actually helps with the transportation of the various molecules in our body, right? We have the blood, which needs to get transported because blood, right, plays a very important role. We have various transporting material, right? We have blood, which act as a transporting material. It carries the gases, digestive food, waste, etc., etc. Yes? So we have this, everyone. We know that we have the circulatory system. In circulatory system, we have different parts of it. We have a transporter. Who's a transporter? We have the blood, which is a transporter over here, right, which is carrying everything. So if we have to compare it with a water pumping system, right, we have this water pumping system. Pump, we have this pipes, etc. So we have the blood. Let's talk about the blood, everyone. Now blood is the very, very important part, right? And it has different components altogether. If we have to find out what are the different components of the blood, what we'll do? We'll actually centrifuge, right? We will put the blood at a very high speed, and after some time we'll be able to see the separation of it, right? We'll be able to see the fluid part and the cellular part of it. Let's talk about the fluid part and the cellular part, everyone. So what is this cellular part and what is this fluid part? The fluid part, right, that we have, the yellow part that we can see is the plasma. It actually helps with the transportation of nutrients, proteins and antibodies in the body. We have in the non-cellular part, we have the platelets, which help in the blood clotting. We have WBCs, which plays a very important role in fighting the infection. And then of course we have the RBCs. They are the one, they contain hemoglobin and they give the red color to the blood and carries oxygen. Yes, so these are such an important thing that we have, everyone, right? So do take a screenshot of this, everyone. Jaldi say, take a screenshot of this. So what we have just now discussed is the components of the blood. In further, let's go into a little bit more detail. When we talk about the components of blood, we have plasma, which is the fluid part of it, and then we have the cellular part of it. In cells, of course, we have WBCs, platelets and RBC. Plasma, right, helps in building up the immunity, carries nutrient. All of these are very important functions of the plasma, right? Regulates the blood pressure. On the other side, we have the blood cells. Now, these blood cells, we have RBC over here, right? It has hemoglobin and it carries the oxygen. This is very important, everyone. I'm sure you are aware about it, right? Then, if not, now you are becoming aware about what is the role of RBC. So, RBCs are red blood cells. They have hemoglobin, right? And hemoglobin plays a very important role in carrying the oxygen molecule. Then we have WBCs, white blood cells. Now, white blood cells are the one that fight against the antigens and various pathogens. So, they are the one which provide us the immunity or provides a defense mechanism to our body. Last but not the least, in the cellular part, we have the platelets, which plays a very important role in the clotting also. Clotting of the blood. If there's a wound, right, we will see that after some time, the blood will stop oozing out. Now, why this is possible? Because of the platelets. These platelets are present in our blood, right, and they plays a very important role in clotting. They will form the, right, they will form the mesh kind of structure like this. And in that, the RBCs will not be able to move out of the body. So with this, we are clear that we have the different components in our blood, right? We have plasma, we have WBCs, RBCs and platelets. Now everyone will be discussing about the blood vessels, right? Now we know that we have the blood which is flowing inside the pipes, right? Pipe over here are the blood vessels. Now we'll discuss about the blood vessels. Now, what are blood vessels? Now, blood vessels are those long structures that carries the blood. So, we have arteries, veins and capillaries, right? Arteries, veins and the capillaries. Everyone, this topic is very important from the exam point of view, right? So, please do remember this. I'll take up your doubts in a minute. Everyone, I'll take up your doubts. Just give me some time. But please just wait for some time. I'll answer your doubt, right? So, the arteries are very important. They carry the oxygen-rich blood, right? We have some exceptions over here, but we will remember that arteries are the one that carries the oxygen-rich blood and they move away from the heart. So, they carry the blood away from the heart. They carry oxygenated blood. They have very thick cell wall, right? They have very thick walls like this and valves. They don't have any barriers in between. The exception we have over here of the pulmonary artery. We'll be learning about it in the further. So, arteries are the one that carries blood away from the heart. They have thick walls because they carry the blood at a very high pressure. Then we have veins. Now, veins carries the blood towards heart. They carries deoxygenated blood, mostly the carbon dioxide rich blood. They have thinner walls, we can clearly see, because they are carrying the blood at not a very high pressure. But they have a very important specialized structure which are the valves. These valves will make sure that the blood is not flowing back. So we have arteries, we have veins. The last one we have are the capillaries. Now capillaries, right? Capillaries are very thin structures, right? They just have one single cell membrane and they carry the blood to tissues, right? They're very thin, they're very minute. They carry the blood to tissues, they're extremely thin wall and they help in the exchange of the gases. In the previous topic when we discussed about the respiration, the capillaries were carrying the blood and the carbon dioxide near to the alveoli. So we have a clear example for it, everyone, that we have just now discussed. So we have three important blood vessels. We have arteries, veins and capillaries. Here of course we have the myth that sometime when we look at our hand, right, over here it looks bluish. The deoxygenated blood or the blood flowing in our veins is blue in color. Do you think that is blue in color? Think about it, everyone. Do you think it's blue in color? It's not, right? We denote the blue color for the veins just not because it's blue, right? Because it just looks a little bit, right? So deoxygenated blood has less amount of the oxygen and more of the carbon dioxide. Hence, of course, we usually denote it with the blue color. Okay? Good, very good. And everyone, this is very important. Do take a screenshot of it, right? The difference between the arteries and the vein. I'm just moving aside, everyone. It's a very quick recall for all of you to have, right? So what we have discussed as of now, we have discussed about the circulatory system. Divyakant, I can see that you're answering. Ma'am, hemoglobin has the high affinity towards. So it has high affinity towards oxygen. But when the carbon monoxide is there, it goes there. So yeah, I've answered your question. Rudransh, valves are the barrier kind of structures, right? The flap-like structure that are present in the veins, right? Which actually stop the backflow of the blood. They are there in our heart also. We'll just discuss it now in few minutes. They plays a very important role in stopping the backflow of the blood. Clear? Yes, I've answered your question. Harshit, what happened? Yes, everyone, are we clear with this? Right? So till now, everyone, what we have discussed? We have discussed about the blood. All of you, are we clear with the blood? The different components, right? Are we clear with the blood? What are the different components of blood? We talked about platelets, RBCs, right? The plasma. We talked about the plasma, platelets, WBCs and RBCs. And then, of course, we talked about the blood vessels. Right, we have arteries, veins and capillaries. Yes? Good. Chali. Now everyone will be moving to the very, very important topic, that is the heart. What we have? The heart, everyone, right? This is super important. Let's quickly take a look over here. The heart, the pumping organ, everyone, the pumping organ of our body. So let's see. I'll be just playing a video for you. There's no sound, right? Everyone, please do watch this video. Everyone, please watch this video. Diagrams के लिए जरूरी नहीं है बच्चे. Nitika, diagrams is not that important. Watch this video, everyone. This is the heart, right? Everyone quickly take a look over here. We know that our heart is a hollow muscular structure, right? We can clearly see it. Yes, so here we have a heart. Yes, very good. The human heart. See, it is present. We always, it's right, it's kind of tilted towards left side a little bit. The size of a heart is to the size of a fist. Yes. It's a hollow muscular structure. Now let's talk about it. Our heart has a covering of a very important thin layer, right? A tissue or a membrane, membranous tissue membrane, which is known as a pericardium, right? Pericardium. So over here we have a layer which is called as pericardium. Now let's talk about the chamber of the heart, right? How many chambers do we have in our heart? We have 4 chambers in our heart. This is very important, everyone. We have left atrium, right ventricle and left ventricle. So we have 4 chambers in our heart, and because of these 4 chambers, right, there's a clear differentiation. We don't have a mixing of the blood. So we have left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium and right ventricle. Left atrium carries oxygenated blood. It receives from the lungs. Left ventricle carries oxygenated blood and gives to the different parts of the body through aorta. Then we have right atrium receives deoxygenated blood or the carbon dioxide rich blood from different parts of the body. And right ventricles carries deoxygenated blood to the pulmonary artery, and from there it goes to the lungs. Pulmonary artery will be carrying it to the lungs. So we have that, right? Everyone, are we clear with the 4 chambers of our heart? Our heart is present towards the center over here, right? It is little bit tilted towards the left in our body only. Everyone, are we clear? Yes, yeah, in between the lungs, absolutely. Now everyone, now that we are clear with the different types of chambers, right? Let's talk about that, about the muscular wall, which is a common question asked in the examination, right? Divyakant, I'll answer your question. Give me some time, bache. You're just moving ahead a little bit ahead in the topic. Wait for some time, I'll answer your question. So what we have, everyone, we have ventricles and atriums. Now, you tell me, if we're talking about the heart, right, which will the atrium, or the ventricles will have thick walls? Think about it. We have 4 chambers of our heart, right? 2 at the top and of course 2 at the bottom. By looking at the size only, we'll be able to tell the answer, right? We have 4 chambers. Ventricles have the thick muscular walls. They have thick muscular walls because they have to pump the blood, right? That's very, very important, everyone, as compared to the atrium. That's a very common question asked in the examination. So please make sure, please take a note of it. Now that we are clear with the chambers of our heart, let's talk about the different capillaries or the blood vessels that we have. Not the capillaries, the blood vessels. First, we'll be discussing about the superior vena cava. The superior vena cava, right? We'll remember the word vena cava. Vena cava is the type of the vein, the largest vein in the body, which carries the carbon dioxide rich blood from the different parts of the body to the heart. So superior vena cava carries the carbon dioxide rich blood from the upper part of the body, right, to the right atrium. We have inferior vena cava, which takes up the carbon dioxide rich blood from the lower part of the body to the right atrium. Very, very important. Okay. Then between that we have the pulmonary artery, the exception that we have. The pulmonary artery, carries the carbon dioxide rich blood, right? The pulmonary artery carries the deoxygenated blood or the carbon dioxide rich blood from the right atrium to the lungs. This is super, super important, everyone. See, we have all the information over here. Do take the screenshot of it. Then on the other side, we have the pulmonary vein, which carries the oxygen-rich blood. The oxygen-rich blood from the lungs to the left atrium. And then we have aorta, which carries the oxygen-rich blood from the left ventricle to the different parts of the body. So everyone, first of all, take the screenshot of this. Everyone take the screenshot of this. It is very important from the exam point of view. It is. So everyone take the screenshot of this also. Yes, Rudransh, what confusion you have? Seriously, please, everyone stay focused. Everyone please stay focused and don't focus on chat, just focus in the class. Okay, right? Then, let's talk about the valves. See everyone, we have discussed, those of you who have doubt, please focus over here. Right, what we have discussed about the chambers. Let me quickly make a easy peasy chart for all of us. Right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle and left ventricle. Everyone, now you answer me, right? Please do write in the comment section and right, everyone please do write your answers now. We have lungs, right, and we have heart. We have body. Right, now everyone, from the lungs, right, we take oxygen, right, it comes to the right, it comes to the left atrium by which blood vessel? Quickly everyone do write in the comment section. Very good. So the pulmonary vein, right, the pulmonary vein carries oxygen rich blood from the lungs to the left atrium. Then the blood goes to the left ventricle. Left ventricle में there is the bicuspid valves, right? Now what are valves? We have just discussed that these are the kind of barriers that will be stopping the backflow of the blood. These bicuspid valves are also called as the mitral valves, right? They are flap-like structures that prevent the backflow of the blood from the left atrium to the left atrium, left ventricle to the left atrium. From the left ventricle, everyone, the blood will go to the aorta. Now this is just for our understanding. This is not the way it happens in our body, just for us to understand. We have the aorta that carries the oxygen-rich blood. Everyone, are we clear? Everyone, are we clear? All of you, are we clear with this? Yes? Are we clear with this? Done, right? Clear? That's the valve. Which valve we have between the left atrium and the left ventricle? What valve we have? We have the bicuspid valve, right? Then, we have one more valve between the left atrium and the aorta. We call it as the aortic semilunar valve. With the name of aorta, we'll remember the semilunar valve. Then, from the body, everyone, the carbon dioxide rich blood, CO2 rich blood, will be moving from different parts of the body to the right atrium. Then from the right atrium, it moves to the right ventricle, and we have tricuspid valve. 3 layers of valves, 3 layers are all together. They're 3 membrane kind structure. They form the tricuspid valve. From the right ventricle, the blood goes to the pulmonary artery, and it carries the blood to the lungs. Pulmonary artery. So exception we have over here. Pulmonary artery is carrying the carbon dioxide rich blood, and pulmonary vein is carrying the oxygen rich blood. That's a difference we have over here. Right, and it carries the carbon dioxide rich blood. We have a valve which is the pulmonary pulmonary semilunar valve. Clear, everyone? So do take a screenshot of this, but of course I hope that all of you have taken the screenshot of the previous other things. Everyone take a screenshot of this. Yes, everyone. Yes. Everyone, are we clear? Very good, very good. Are we clear? Yes, so we have discussed about the blood, its components. We have gone into the details about the blood vessels. We have discussed about the heart, and now we have discussed about how the circulation, how the movement of the blood is happening, right? We will be understanding about how it actually works now. Clear, all of you? Good, very good, everyone. So we have different types of valves we have just now discussed. Now when I said what type of blood, right, what type of blood means whether it is oxygen rich blood or the carbon dioxide rich blood. Oxygen rich blood is also called as the oxygenated blood, and the carbon dioxide rich blood is also called as the deoxygenated blood, right? Yes, seems like people, yes, everyone, I hope that it's clear. I hope that all of you got it. Now everyone, let's talk about more further. Yes, very good. So everyone, let's move ahead, and here we have the anatomy of the heart. We have just discussed all of these parts, so you can take the screenshot of it. Right? These are the important parts that all of us should remember. Yes. Okay, chali. Now let's talk about the cardiac cycle. Now what is a cardiac cycle, everyone? A cardiac cycle can be defined as a sequence of the contraction and the relaxation. Now this is very, very important in the heart, right? We know that our heart is the pumping organ. There's a contraction and there's a relaxation that happens, and because of the contraction and the relaxation, the blood moves inside the chambers, moves outside the chambers. So let's understand, right? Let's understand about this. So here we have the cardiac cycle. Everyone, please do focus over here. It's very, very important. There are two types of movement that happens. We have diastole and systole. Diastole and systole. Diastole means relax. Remember this, everyone. Or diastole means filling also. Whereas systole means pumping or contraction. So, if we have to understand, relaxation is diastole. The contraction is systole. Right? What will happen when the heart is relaxed? Just imagine, everyone. Just in such an easy process, right? For example, I have this chamber, right? I'm sure you would have seen a squeezy ball. How many of you have seen a squeezy ball? Right? So when you contract it, right, if you have a sponge, what will happen? If you put it like this, it will be able to absorb. It will be able to take in, right? So when the heart is relaxed, what will happen? The blood will flow inside the heart. Let's talk from here, everyone, right? So let's suppose we have the pulmonary vein, right, which is carrying the blood, right? Which is carrying the blood. When the heart is relaxed, what will happen? The blood will go into the atrium, everyone. This is super important, right? The blood will go into the atrium. When the heart is relaxed, can I write R over here? R means relax. Clear over here? See? So when the heart is relaxed, what will happen? The blood will move in. Yes? Then what will happen? After that, we will see the contraction happening. So, atrium will contract now. Yes? The atrium will contract. As the contraction will happen, what will happen? The blood will move to the ventricles, right? The blood will now moving to the ventricles. So, what we saw? Relax atrium. Then, contraction of atrium. When this all is happening, ventricles are relaxed when they are receiving the blood, and then the ventricles will contract. Clear, everyone? This is super easy, right? Very, very easy. So just imagine. For example, everyone just close your eyes now and just imagine. So when you breathe in, what is happening? Oxygen is coming. Of course, we have the pulmonary vein which carrying the oxygen. So when we breathe in, right, and of course when the contraction, the relaxation of heart is happening, when the heart is beating, first, let's suppose it is as the relaxed position. So the heart is at relax. The atriums are relaxed. What will happen? It will receive the blood, right? The blood will pour in. The blood will pour in. Then of course this atrium will contract. The contraction of the atrium is happening. Now as the contraction is happening, the blood will flow into the, right? The blood will flow into the ventricles. Now the blood is there into the ventricles. Now these ventricles will contract and the blood will move to the aorta and to the pulmonary artery. Everyone, are we clear with this? This is such an easy thing, right? Such an easy thing for all of us to remember. Clear? All of you? Yes. Clear, all of you? Quick thumbs up. So this is, everyone, this is the cardiac cycle that we have, right? And because of the contraction and the relaxation, we will see, right, the blood is being moved from one atrium to the ventricles and from ventricles to different parts of the body. And on the right side, from different parts of the body to the right atrium and then to the right ventricle and then to the pulmonary artery, will be carrying it to the lungs. Easy peasy, right? So everyone, let's see a video over here. I think, yes. Everyone, double circulation. Look at it. What I have just explained is the double circulation. Jaldi se everyone. See what we have. We have the heart. We have oxygenated blood, oxygen-rich blood, and the carbon dioxide-rich blood. What it runs into the blood vessels, and what we have over here? We have the double circulation, everyone. Can you see over here? That is our body. From the body, the carbon dioxide-rich blood or the deoxygenated blood is moving to the right side of the heart. See over here, it is entering into the right atrium. Then in right atrium, say it will went to the right ventricle through, there's a tricuspid valves. From right ventricles to the pulmonary artery, it is carried by the pulmonary artery to the lungs, where we will exhale out the carbon dioxide. Then of course we'll have oxygen. This oxygen-rich blood will move into the pulmonary vein, goes to the left atrium, then to the left ventricle, right? And then from the left ventricle, what we have between them, we have that bicuspid valve. From there to the aorta, the largest artery in the human body, and from there to the different parts of the body. Clear? Yes? Very good. That's double circulation, everyone. Okay? That's double circulation that we have. Yes. Are we clear? Are we clear, everyone? Okay. So everyone, do take a screenshot of this. We have just discussed the double circulation. Here for all of you, for all of us to remember this, take everyone. It's a very, very important concept from the exam point of view. Yes, right? Chali. Now that we are clear with this, everyone, we know that we are not the only one, right? We have other organisms also. So let's discuss about that how the circulation can be varies in the living other types of organism. So in fishes we have 2-chamber heart. In amphibians we have 3-chamber heart. In reptiles we have 3-chamber, and of course in mammals we have 4-chambered heart. So the question that we usually ask ourselves, ma'am, in 2-chambered heart, do the mixing of blood is happening, right? So let's understand, everyone, that different organisms have different chambers of heart. Now why? What is the reason behind it? Due to the evolution process, right? Initially there was no heart at all. But as the evolution process started, there was a need of an organ that will be able to pump the blood throughout the body. And that's how the heart came into the picture. But initially the organism didn't have the separation. They don't have the proper segregation. The blood was used to get mixed all together, right? So we have 2-chambered organism, which of course we have the 2-chambered heart in the fishes. Now what is happening? The blood is getting mixed. In the 3-chambered heart organism like amphibians, again we have the mixing of the blood in these organisms. In the reptiles also they have 3-chambered heart. Again the mixing of blood is happening. We have the exception of crocodile only, which has 4-chambered heart. Now can I ask you a question, that why in these organisms mixing of the blood is not creating any issues? Whereas in our body, in the cases of mammals and in birds, we have 4-chambered heart where there is no mixing of the blood. In the beginning only we discussed that if there is a mixing of the blood, it can create some issue. I'm giving you some time to think about it and write the answer in the comment section. That's why in our body there is no mixing of the blood, whereas in the other organism there is a mixing of the blood. Yes, quickly everyone. Yes, everyone. What is the reason? The reason is that in these organisms like parasites, amphibians and reptiles, the mixing of the blood will not make any difference because they are the cold-blooded animals. Very good. They are the cold-blooded animals. That means that even though there is a mixing happening, their metabolism will not change because they are the organism that can change their body temperature according to the environment. But in our case, we need a constant temperature for our body to function, and hence if we have the mixing of the blood, it's a big issue. But these organisms, mixing of the blood is not an issue over here. Okay, everyone? So that's a very important concept that we have. It's an important question usually asked in the examination. Okay? So we are clear with the circulation in the other organisms also. Now, let's talk about blood pressure. Now we know that in arteries, we have more blood pressure. Arteries have thick walls because they have to take the blood at a very high pressure as compared to the veins. Veins have very thin wall because they have to carry the blood at not a very high pressure. But they have the valves to prevent the backflow of the blood. Now blood pressure is very important concept that we have over here. Now what we have in the blood pressure? The force that exert against the wall of the vessel is called as the blood pressure. So when the blood is moving inside the arteries, right, the pressure it will be putting on the veins, right, when the blood is moving, it will be putting a pressure on the vessel, the blood vessels altogether. That is called as blood pressure. We have the, the blood pressure. Yes, we have this number, maximum and the minimum, right? Which tells us about we have high BP or low BP. Now, what is really very important for all of us to understand that blood pressure as a concept is really very important. We can measure it through by use of this sphygmomanometer, right? And what are the values we have? 120 mm of Hg in systole during the contraction or also called as systole. What should be the reading? 120 mm of Hg. And during the relaxation or during the diastole, what should be the reading? 80 mm of Hg. This is a normal blood pressure, everyone, right? This is it's normal blood pressure. Okay? Okay, wait, I can see. Yes. How much longer, bache? Half an hour. Really sorry for stretching it up. Sheetal, don't worry, we'll understand this. We'll understand this. Sphygmomanometer, yes. So just imagine. Okay, yeah, here we have. See everyone, can you see this? I'm sure you would have seen. See, for example, if I'm putting a pressure onto it. See, I'm putting a pressure, right? What happens if I put a pressure over there? We can see the change in the shape of this water bottle, right? Now, what is happening inside our body is not like this. We know that there is a vessel, right? If this is a blood vessel that we have, if the blood is flowing inside it, it's not flowing at aram or answer it, it's flowing really very fast. And the vessels are really very narrow also, so the pressure is really very high. So they move at a very high speed, okay? Now, that is a pressure, the pressure which is exerted on the walls of the vessels is called as blood pressure. Now, this pressure is being created by what? Our heart only, right? We have contraction and relaxation. If there is more of contraction, more of relaxation, that will be changing the blood pressure. Simple. As a normal blood pressure, for example, I am standing here, right? Everything is perfectly normal. My heart is beating, aram se, it's doing its function. The arteries are carrying the blood, the veins are carrying the blood, right? Heart has contraction and relaxation. When the heart is contracting, what is the pressure that is putting on the lungs? Sorry, what is the pressure that is pushing on the vessels? Clear? Which is 120 mm. That's a normal one. And when it's relaxed, what is the pressure on the vessels? Which is 80 mm. This is very easy. Clear all of you. I know that you have tests, just few more minutes and they will be done with the chapter. Just in case if you have the test, you can leave the class, you can come back later and watch it. That's the advantage that we have, right? Hg, what is Hg? Who will be telling me what is Hg over here? Can I give you a hint? We have this in our thermometer also. Yes, Ankita Modi, please ask your doubt. Oh, Nikita is helping you over there. Mercury, absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So Hg over here is the mercury. I'm sure you would have seen. If not, please do see this sphygmomanometer. You'll be able to see the liquid, the silverish liquid. I'll not call it as a liquid per se, but yeah, you will see the movement going up and down. Okay? Clear everyone? Awesome. Chaliye. So that's all about the blood pressure. Now everyone, 3 marks, 2 marks question, which is the lymphatic system or the lymphatic vessel. So the unsung hero of the human body. So what happens in the lymphatic system? Let's understand. So we know that in our blood vessels, we have some leaky points, right? We have some pores through which the cell content can easily, the blood content can easily go out, right? So plasma, the WBCs, right? They leak out. What is happening over here? There's a leaking, right? What is happening? There's a leak of plasma and the WBCs, right? And of course, they're going outside the vessels that are there. They will be getting reabsorbed by the lymph, right? And of course, into the lymph vessel. This fluid which is formed, right? Which is going out, clear, will be forming the lymph. Clear everyone? and eventually it will form the lymphatic system. What we have over here, let's understand. Lymph, what are the components we have? We have the water, electrolyte, T lymphocytes, basically different types of cells are there, proteins are there, right? Main function of the lymphatic system actually helps in the maintaining of the balance, fluid balance in the body, improves the immunity, and of course carry digestive and the absorbed fat from the intestine back to the blood. Okay? Everyone, in a very simple way, if we have to understand what is lymph. Lymph is nothing. From the blood vessels, we will see WBC and plasma leaking out, right? The leak out will form an extracellular fluid. It's a fluid only. What is it? It is a fluid, right? This fluid is called as lymph, or right? What all it has electrolyte, WBCs, plasma, nutrient, right? This will be forming the lymphatic vessels, right? It will be flowing into the lymphatic vessels and form a lymphatic system altogether. Now, this plays a very important role in maintaining the fluid balance in the body, helps in carrying the digestive and absorbed fat from the intestine back to the blood, and plays a very important role in the immunity also. So that's all about, yes, it's all about the lymphatic system. Clear, all of you? Yes. Yes, Ankita, what are your doubts, bache? Everyone, I hope that it's clear to you. Everyone clear? Good. Chaliye. Yes. Okay, what is the doubt over here? Hemoglobin is a pigment, bache, that gives a red color to the blood, and it is the one that carries the oxygen. It is present in the RBC, the red blood cell. Ankita Modi, I have answered your question. Okay. Yes. Chaliye everyone, let's quickly move ahead to the next topic, everyone. We have to finish this up. Now let's discuss about the transportation in plants, everyone. This is the easiest topic. Transportation in plants is very, very important. We know that plants also have the transportation system, right? So in the transportation in plants, what we know that plants needs water and minerals, and of course they need nutrient. So the process which is there that actually help in the transportation of water, minerals and the food in the plants will form the transportation in the plants. In that, what we have vascular bundles. In class 9th, we have discussed about the vascular bundles, right? The vascular bundles or the conducting tissues. There are two types of tissues that we have over here. We have xylem and we have phloem. Xylem is the one that carries the water and minerals, right? Remember this, everyone. Xylem carries the water and minerals from roots to the shoot, basically from the bottom to the top. The flow that happens in the xylem is only one directional. The flow is unidirectional. Why we say unidirectional? Because the flow is happening only in one particular direction. Whereas in the phloem it is opposite. We'll discuss about it. So xylem we'll see the conduction of water and minerals. Flows happens only in one particular direction, and it have different components like tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fiber. The flow is unidirectional. Okay, remember this, everyone. Okay, along with that, we know that the transport of water, right, is happening through xylem. Over here, we have a very important role of the transpirational pull also and the root pressure. Now, let's understand about it. Everyone, we know that we have the roots. Let me just make it over here. Tell me, everyone, plants takes up the water through roots, right? Very good. So roots are there, and on the roots we have something very minute structure called as the root hair. So root hair will be absorbing the water, right? And root hair, of course, will have the cells also. So what will happen? The water molecules will move. The water will move from one cell to another cell by the process of osmosis. How many of you can see a flashback of things? How many of you remember the osmosis process? We all remember, right? So, root here had the cells, and as the water molecules will move from one cell to another cell, it will create a pressure. The turgidity will increase. They'll push each other, and the water molecules will move from one cell to another and will go into the phloem. Sorry, will go into the xylem. Really sorry. It will go into the xylem. Now, xylem will take the water because it's very narrow. So, the water molecules will move till the top. And at the top, there is a pull, and that pull is the transpirational pull. Now, what is transpiration? Transpiration is nothing but the loss of water in a form of water vapor from the aerial parts of the plant. So, from the leaves, when the stomata is open, we will see that the water molecules will be leaving in a form of water vapor. Now, when that is happening continuously, it's form a transpirational pull. I'm sure you would have drank it from a straw. So what happens in a straw? We create a suction pull, right? And that's how the fluid from the glass will be moving at the top. Similarly, the transpirational pull is there that actually pulls the water molecule up. And it's a continuous process that keeps on happening. And then only the xylem is able to carry the water and minerals. Easy, right? So let's visualize it, everyone. So here, see over here, we have the roots, and inside the roots, we have the root hair. So root hairs are there, right? They will be absorbing the water molecule. We have the water molecules movement in this particular way. They will be moving from cell to cell, cell to cell, cell to cell, and be going to the xylem. And from there, as they are moving, the water is moving inside them, right? So it will create the turgidity in the cell will swells up, right? Will have more space, not the swells up, basically it take more space. It become turgid, it become rigid, and then the water molecules, the water will move ahead by the simple process of osmosis. So that's a root pressure, everyone. Do take a screenshot of it, right? Do take a screenshot of it. Then when the water moves to the xylem, what will happen? The movement will happen in the very narrow tubes that we have, right? And at the top, we have the transpirational pull. So through the leaves, the transpiration pull is there, and it will be pulling the water molecule. So if you look at it, it's a constant cycle that is happening, right? During the night time, transpiration pull is less because stomata will not be able to close and open. That is a very important thing we have to remember. So this is all about the transpirational pull. Everyone, are we clear? All of you, are we clear with this? Jaldi se quick thumbs up, everyone. Interesting, very good. So if someone will ask you in the examination, write how the xylem or how the water and the minerals moves up. So you have three important things to mention. First, you'll mention about the xylem. Xylem helps in the conduction of water and minerals. You will start with the whole process talking about the root pressure, then how it moves in the xylem, narrow tubes, capillary movement happens, and then you will mention about the transpirational pull. Everyone, are we clear? Just in case if you have any doubt, everyone, you can recap it. I have gone really very slow over here. Right? Clear? Now that we are done with xylem, let's move to the phloem. Now what is phloem? Of course, it's type of the conducting tissue. Now phloem plays a very important role in the conduction or the translocation of the food. So what happens? In phloem, we will see the movement of food only. Really very important. What are the components of phloem? We have sieve tubes, parenchyma, phloem fibers. We have sieve companion cells also. Okay. In the phloem, we have the movement in both the direction. That is a reason we call it as the bidirectional. The flow that happens in the phloem is bidirectional. From roots to the leaves, from leaves to the roots. Basically in both the direction. Not exactly to the roots, but lower leaves are there, right over there. Yes, everyone, are we clear? Yes, that's a very important part. So over here, we have the phloem, right? But a very, very important part that we have to understand in the phloem is that even though they have the movement happening, there's a requirement of the energy. Now that is very much different from the xylem, right? Yes. Everyone, are we clear? Osmosis. Ankita Modi, I'm not sure whether you are from which class, but I think Osmosis we have discussed in the class 9th. It's a process by which the water molecules will move from the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Okay, chaliye. Yes, yes. They're very primitive. Yes, okay. Chaliye everyone, let's move ahead. So we're talking about the phloem, right? We know that the sieve tubes and the companion cells are there, right? They are the one that will be carrying the the food molecules. But the way they carry will be utilizing the ATP, or they will be using the ATP energy, right? ATP molecule for their energy. So let's understand everyone how this is happening. Everyone, this is really very important. Please make sure you pay attention over here. The process is called as translocation. Now, can you see over here, everyone? Can you quickly take a look over here? Jaldi se give me a quick thumbs up. Right? We have the source cell, right? The leaves, basically where there is a production of the glucose. We have the companion cell, and next to it we have the sieve tube. Okay? So what we have the leaf, we have the companion cell, and then we have the sieve tube. So what is happening? Leaf is making the food, the glucose molecule, right? It has to move to the companion cell, right? And then from there it has to move to the sieve tube. Now as the sugar is there, right? Yes, as a sugar is there with us, what happens? It moves over here, and this sugar moves into the sieve tubes also. Now as it moves, everyone, it creates a very disbalanced situation. The concentration of sugar and the concentration of water is very different. There's a high concentration and low concentration. So at that time, of course, there's a gradient balancing, and of course for that, lot of things, a lot of reaction that keeps on happening. Everyone, are we clear? Yes? Everyone, are we clear? Yes? Are we clear? Okay, I'll explain again those of you who have still some doubts. So, here we have the sucrose, right? So, if the glucose which is made, right, if the glucose which is made into the companion cell has to move to the plant cell, will be utilizing the ATP. So, where the ATP is utilizing? Everyone quickly tell me where the ATP is getting utilized. ATP is getting utilized in the transfer of the sucrose to the companion cell, and as from the companion cell it moves to the sieve tubes. There's a difference in the osmotic pressure, and because of that there's a concentration difference, and water and the sugar level are very, very different from each other. Yes. Okay, let me look at the chat. Very good. Everyone, please don't spam. And just in case if you have any doubt with this, we have one more video for you to clear your doubts. This is not a recorded session, Priyanka Chaudhary. Yes. Yes, everyone. See, if you want to understand more in detail about this, Aishwarya ma'am did an amazing video on this, so please make sure you go and watch it. Okay? Chaliye. So it's in a simple process, if you see, there's a movement of sugar happening and there's a movement of water happening. There's a lot of concentration difference between it, and that's the balance will be happening. Okay? Chaliye. Now everyone, we are moving to the last part of it. The excretion part. Clear? Chaliye. The excretion part, everyone, last 15 minutes. We'll be able to finish our class by 10:30 for sure. Okay? What we have in excretion, everyone? Excretion is nothing but, of course, the removal of the nitrogenous waste from the body, right? We have, for example, we have litter, right, around the city, for example. Now we have the treatment plant also in city. So, to collect all the waste, right? So, what happens? In our body also, we have a treatment unit, which is the kidney. And we have the body litter, which is urea and different types of salts that are there. So what will happen? You know, we have a amazing system. That is excretion. Right? We will be finishing our class in 15 more minutes. Everyone, please stay focused. Please stay focused. So what we have the very important step. That is excretion. Last easy peasy step, everyone, right? Whatever we have eaten, right? Whatever we have waste that has been generated by the body, the nitrogenous waste, will be removed by the process of excretion. So we have a system which is the excretory system. Now let's understand what is excretion per se. We have the biological process, right, which is involved in the removal of these harmful toxic wastes that are present in a body, and that whole process is called as the excretion. Remember everyone, nitrogenous waste, we'll specify it over here, the nitrogenous waste. Okay. Then in our body and different other organisms, we have different types. So let's talk about our body. In our body, of course, we have we have proteins. Once they are broken down, right, of course we have amino acids. Amino acids are further broken down, which are ammonia, which is highly toxic. So of course it is also a type of nitrogenous waste, right? In our body, that goes to the liver, and of course urea, which is a less toxic compound that we have, right? So this ammonia group, right, that are removed from the ammonic acid, right, very highly toxic. We have ammonia, which is NH3, which is kind of converted by the liver into a less toxic compound, which is the urea, So in our body and different other organisms also, we have the waste which are the derivatives of proteins only. Okay, and we call them as the nitrogenous waste. Of course we have ammonia, we have urea, these all are nitrogenous waste. In different organisms, right, we have different products. So let's take a look over here. We have fishes may ammonia, urea in the humans. In birds we have the uric acid. Starfish may we have, right, and of course we have this. Spider may we have this. Interesting. So these two things are not that important, but you remember the other part, right, which is super important for all of us to remember. Now let's talk about the excretory system. Now what we have in the excretory system? The easiest system, everyone, that we have in this whole chapter is the excretory system. We have kidneys, we have two kidneys, we have a pair of kidneys, ureter, a tube structure, right, a tube that carries the urine from the kidneys to the bladder. We have the urinary bladder and the urethra. Along with that, we have renal vein and the renal artery. I think in the beginning, few of the students were asking about what is renal vein and the renal artery. So renal vein is a vein that carries the carbon dioxide rich blood, right? The kidney, see over here. Renal means over here the kidney. So the blood which is going to the kidney and coming to the kidney, coming out of the kidney and going to the kidneys will have the renal word, arteries and veins. Let's take a look at the structure of the kidney now. Now kidneys, we have two in our body, and if you take a closer look at the kidneys, we can divide the structure into the medulla, the inner part of the kidney, and the cortex, which is the outer part. So medulla is the inner part and cortex is the outer part of it. In this, we have the nephrons. Now what are the nephrons, everyone? Nephrons are the structural and the functional unit of kidney. 1 marks question, right? So like we always remember it, nephrons, not neurons, nephrons are the structural and the functional unit of the kidneys. Now nephrons are the one that plays a very important role in the filtration process, right? Filtration of blood. They are the one that make sure that everything is working perfectly fine. So let's take a look over here. Let's talk about the different parts of the nephron. So everyone, I'm just drawing it over here because I feel that it's really very easy, right? And along with that, I'll explain you. So everyone, please do pay attention over here. So what happens, everyone? Right? How? So what happens? We have this particular part, right? The cup-shaped like structure. This cup-shaped like structure is called as Bowman's capsule. Everyone, please, this is the last topic that we have, right? So please make sure you pay attention to it. The cup-shaped structure is called as the Bowman's capsule. Inside it, we have the blood capillaries, right? What we have the blood capillaries, a bunch load of it. These blood capillaries are entering and of course are leaving. So this this whole junction that we have, right? This whole bundle is called as the glomerulus. It's called as a glomerulus. Everyone, I will show you the diagram. You can take a screenshot of it later. But now, just now focus over here. So we have the Bowman's capsule, which is a cup-like structure. Inside that we have a bunch, right, of the capillaries, which is called as the glomerulus. Now what happens as the blood enter into the glomerulus, right? There is a filtration happens. Now this is very, very crucial, everyone. The first step that we talk about, right, in the formation of the urine is the filtration. Is the filtration of blood. So what is happening over here? Filtration is happening. The bigger molecules like proteins, right, all the other things will not be able to go inside. But whereas the small molecules like glucose, sodium, right, ammonic acid, some of the important compounds like we have salt also, right, all of these will be moving, will be crossing this. Clear, everyone? Right? So what is happening? Just imagine this glomerulus as a sieve. I'm sure you would have seen sieves, right, where your parents used to make the tea and they will strain it, right? So the bigger molecules will be there on the top. The liquid part goes into the cup. So similarly, what we have over here, the bigger molecules will not be able to cross the glomerulus, right? And the small molecule will be able to cross it and they'll be moved to the tubules. So that's the first part. The first part is happening in the glomerulus in the Bowman's capsule. Clear? And that we call it as the filtration of the blood. The second part happens in the tubules, everyone. Where it is happening? It is happening in the tubules. So we have the tubules, everyone. So we have the first tubule, which is PCT, proximal convolutional tubule, right? We have loop of Henle, and we have DCT, distal convolutional tubule, and last we have collecting duct. Okay, so filtration is done, right? Filtration is completely done. Now from there, the fluid which have the glucose, ammonic acid, right, salt, all of this will be moving into these tubules. The second step which happens is that is really very important is reabsorption. Everyone, I'm sure you would have seen your parents, right? Whatever is important, right, they'll not throw it if they can reuse it in some other way. Similarly, our body is also very conscious about what is important, what is not. So over here, when the fluid is there in these tubules where the filtration and the clearing out process is happening, the second step becomes super important. Our body becomes super conscious, especially our nephrons, because they are the structure and the function unit of kidney. So nephrons are really very active and they like, every molecule is really very important. So they will try to reabsorb whatever is important. Salt is important, they will take it back. Glucose is important, they will take it back. They're like, why we are wasting these things? They're very crucial for us. So second step is a reabsorption. Whatever is important, right, whatever is good for the body will be getting reabsorbed in these tubules. Everyone, are we clear? Whatever is important will be getting reabsorbed by these tubules. And the last part is the secretion. During all of this process, right, during all of this movement that is happening, right, whatever is not important, the secretion will happen and will go into the collecting duct. From the collecting duct, it will go to the bunch right over there, and all of it will be getting collected and moving to the ureter. So everyone, what we have over here? Yes, what we have over here. Clear, everyone? Jaldi se. Let's quickly take a look over here. Quick thumbs up, everyone. We have the glomerulus. Let me write over here. Yes, over here. The filtration part, we have the Bowman's capsule, renal artery, capillaries, and let's take a look over here. Take a screenshot of this, everyone. The three important steps that we have. First is the filtration, which happens in the glomerulus. Then we have the reabsorption, right, the tubular part where we'll see the reabsorption and the secretion. Then the last part, the collecting duct, right? Let's take a look over here, everyone. It's a video. See urine formation, everyone. Yes, see, we have the kidneys, right? We can clearly see the kidneys. Red one is the artery, blue one is the vein. Two kidneys, we have adrenal gland top of it. Inside the kidney, everyone, we have nephrons. We have the ureter, this is the bladder. See over here, so many nephrons. Right, and inside it, everyone, this is what we have. So amazing, right? This is the glomerulus, the Bowman's capsule. See the blood capillaries. That's the Bowman capsule. This is glomerulus. right? And then what we have? We have the renal artery. It carries the blood, right? See over here, we have the waste and the excess water. Will go over there. Filtration will happen, right? Filtration will happen over here. Few molecules will move out of it. See how they're moving? The blue part and the yellow part. Moving into the tubule. See over here. And then everyone, what we'll see? We'll see the reabsorption happening. Whatever is important will be reabsorbed by the body. See, glucose is there. Right? Glucose, other important things will be reabsorbed in the arteries only. And the waste will be going ahead. Right? See, in a renal pelvis, the collecting duct will open and from there the urine will move to the ureter. Right? And then of course it will go to the urinary bladder and from there to the urethra. And that's how our excretory system works. Everyone, please make sure you watch this video again. Right? We have this on a BYJU'S app, everyone. So please make sure. Right? You can download it and you can see this also. It's absolutely interesting. Okay. So everyone, now you take the screenshot of it. We have the detailed Aquarius. I'll answer your question, Bacha. I think you have been asking this doubt. Give me some time. I'll answer this doubt. Okay? So everyone do take the screenshot of this. Yes. DCT is the distal convoluted tubule. Yes, everyone. I hope that you have taken the screenshot. Okay. Yes. PCT is the proximal convoluted tubule. That's the first part. Malpighian tubules, right, are the one. Basically, these are the organelles, excretory parts that are present in the insect. Okay. Yes, very good, everyone. Chaliye. Let's talk about the composition of the urine, everyone. Here we have, it has most of the water, it dissolves salts, urea, some of the other chemicals also. A very important question which is usually asked, what will happen if one of the kidneys is damaged or if both the kidneys are damaged? Of course, there is a process which is called as the dialysis. Now, what happens in the process of dialysis, or we have it in the hemodialysis? What happens? There is a transfer of the first step is the blood which is passed into the dialysing unit. Can you see over here? So the artery is connected to the individual. For example, just in case if the person's kidneys are not working are not functioning properly, what will happen? There's the accumulation of the nitrogenous waste in the body, and hence it can create lots and lots of diseases, other issues in the body. So it's very important to clear out that nitrogenous waste. So for that process, the patient will be going to the hospital, where what will happen? Their arteries, right? From their arteries, it will be connected to a tube, and we'll have a pump to pump the blood out. Now this artery pump, that pipe that we have, is actually going into the dialyzing unit, right over here. Now this particular unit is super important. This has the different types of solution. Basically, it has a solution that will be filtering out whatever is harmful. So as the blood will be moving into this unit, the good amount, right? What will happen? The toxic, all the toxics that are there, right? The urea, other things will be moving out, right? And the fresh, the clean blood will be going into the patient's body again. Okay, very simple process. Such a simple process, right? Clear? Yes, so this is super easy process. So first step, of course, the blood is passed into the dialysis unit. Then of course there's a pumping of the blood. It goes inside this, right? All the waste material will be moving out and the fresh solution is added, and hence there's a clearing out of the nitrogenous waste from the human body. But the only disadvantage of this particular process is that there is no reabsorption. So in our kidney, when we have the nephrons, right, there's a reabsorption happens, but in the case of the hemodialysis, it's not possible. Clear? Everyone, are we clear with this? Yes. Everyone, are we clear? All of you? Quick thumbs up, everyone. Chaliye. Last topic, everyone, of today's class. Feel super proud that of all of you that you're here for us till the end for this particular topic. Excretion in plants, everyone. So we know that plants do also excrete. What we have different types of excretion that happens in the plant. First, of course, we have the removal of the excessive salt. So plants release excessive salt. Of course, we can't see it, but of course, they're releasing through the root hairs into the soil directly. So we have the removal of the excessive salt by the plants directly into the soil through the root hairs. Then, of course, we have stromata. We have spoken about it, right? The stromata plays a very important role in the removal of the unwanted gases, or the excess gases. Of course, it helps the gaseous exchange also. So we have the exchange of CO2 and O2 over here. It plays a very important role in the transpiration process also. So transpiration is also very, very important thing. And transpiration process mein, we will see that there's an excess loss of the water. So it is a type of excretion only. Apart from that, we all have seen plants excreting raisins and gums. I'm sure all of us would have seen that we have the raisins, the viscous secretion which comes out of the plants, right? We have these examples over here. We have the gums also, which are nothing but the decomposition of the cellulose in the cell wall. So we have the examples given everyone over here. You can take the screenshot of it. Then we have the shedding of the leaves. The easiest one for all of us to remember is the shedding of the leaves, some time to conserve the water and the energy, right? And of course, it is very unfavorable if there's an unfavorable weather approaching, or there's a hormonal disbalance, something is happening. So we will see the shedding of the leaves. Clear, everyone? Yes. Are we clear? Everyone, are we clear? It's the shortest topic that we have. All of you, are we clear up to here? Everyone, are we clear up to here? And with this, we are actually done with the whole chapter. There will be, yes, we will be coming up with the control and coordination also. We have an amazing one-shot done by Ashwarya ma'am, right? So you can watch it if you have examination, right? In the future, we will be having a class where we will discuss the important questions. You need more night sessions. Definitely. If you are up for it, we are up for it. Yes. Yes, Anjana, yes. Okay, everyone. So I hope that, see, I know that it's a very huge, right? It was a long class, but I hope that all of you have enjoyed. Everyone? Yes. Please do write in the comment section, right? And how are you feeling, everyone, now? How are you feeling, all of you? Yes, how are you feeling, everyone? Yes. Yes, Ankita, what are your doubt? Mitali, what is your doubt, bache? Mitali, please do. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Translocation. Bache, translocation is the movement of food with the help of phloem in plants. It actually helps in the carrying of the food. Phloem is a vascular bundle, or it's a conducting tissue that help in the movement of the food in the plant. And that process is also called as translocation. Everyone, are we clear? Yes. Everyone, are we clear? Please make sure everyone to watch this video once again if you have any doubts. And we have done videos for this particular chapter individually also. So just in case if you have any doubt, if you feel that ma'am thoda aaram samajhna hai, so you can watch those videos. And this is where we have everything all together. Yes. So with this, everyone, I would like to end the class. Thank you so much, everyone. Right, this is definitely all sorted for all of us, right? Just in case, there are chances, I'm 100% sure that we would have missed your doubts. So please do write your doubts in the comment section below. We'll try our best to reply to your doubts. You know that we are there with you, right? So please make sure everyone you write the doubts in the comment section. When we are saying we know that Aishwarya ma'am is also there with us, right? Ma'am have been a great support. Yes, everyone, please make sure to write your doubts in the comment section below if you feel that any of the doubts have been missed, because so many of you were there, right? And here and there we might have missed the doubt. Yes. Okay, everyone. So on that note, everyone, now it's time for us to say bye-bye. Lots of love to each one of you who stayed with us till the end. If you're watching this video later also, please make sure to watch it at 2x. I hope that you're watching at 2x only. Right, that will be helping all of us to revise this whole important chapter. It's just such an important chapter, everyone. So please make sure you go through it, read the NCERT, revise it again and again and again, and we are there with you to answer your doubts. On that note, everyone, I'll end the class. Lots of love to each one of you. Keep on learning, keep on working hard. There's no replacement of the hard work, right? There's no replacement के आपको बैठे बैठे सपने एक तो देखते देखते कोई चीज समझ में आ जाएगी. It is impossible. It is impossible, everyone. मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. You have to work hard, right? So please make sure, everyone, you keep on working hard. We teachers are there with you. We have Aishwarya ma'am. I am there with you. So with that hope, right? With that hope, everyone, we'll say bye-bye. Lots of love to each one of you from both of our side, and we'll see you soon, very soon, really. Lots of love, good night, and keep on learning with BYJU'S. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Good night.